Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. There was a thing that I wanted to show. Oh, wait, hold on. FD signifier debated better than Panada? What the hell? What the hell?
Propaganda tier list.
Like, I wouldn't like being liberation.
Necessarily cynical, even though
to explain a black man. Who gives a fuck if he's black or not? Okay,
I
here's
do.
what I'm going to.
What?
Like, I looked a little bit when I could. One, you know, a bread tube, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
then that is without our consent. We do not consent to that happening. So that is what it is. Jeff is on the line. We have Jeff.
So anyway,
Hi, Jeff.
FD, you love to
Wait 1 sec. You need to change your microphone.
Okay, great idea.
Straight to webcam mic.
1 second, my actual mic isn't showing up in the devices here.
I swear, I didn't plan this.
It's my failure on not staying on code myself.
It's Nazis. I don't even know how that came up, but that's why I'm here.
Wait, so say that one more time.
Look,
sorry.
What?
He decided to call me a Nazi for being too anti-Zionist for his taste. So
I
that's why
never
we're here.
I never said that.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I
No,
saw.
I didn't.
Give me a break. Anyway, let's talk about the actual
Wait. No.
issues.
Did he
Yeah.
say?
Do
Is
you
that
have
something
evidence
you
of me
believe?
saying that?
He said, oh, he uses
Okay.
Nazi dog whistles for not caring
Did you
too
use
much
a
about
Nazi
Jewish
dog whistle?
feelings. The typical bullshit.
Did you use a Nazi dog whistle? Did you call
You're talking about
bizarre-
Nazi dog whistles. Do you
Answer the
understand
question
something?
you're evading? Did you use a Nazi dog whistle?
I'm going to explain
malign a
something
black
to
man
you.
on
I'm going to
Twitter.
explain a black man. Who gives a fuck if he's black or not? Okay.
I
Here's
do.
what I'm going to
I give a
explain
fuck
to
if he's
you.
black or not. I think you
Have
should
you
do
ever
that.
heard? Have you heard of the Jewish?
You are
sect
avoiding a
Chabad?
direct
Chabad.
question.
I'm answering the question to you
Okay. All right. Let me
with the
hear it.
needed context. Have you heard of the Jewish sect Chabad? However you pronounce it in
No.
Hebrew. No fucking way.
No, I'm not very knowledgeable on this topic. No.
I'm fucking blown away. But anyway, this is the biggest like religious Jewish group in the entire world. Of all the religious Jews, they are the biggest. In the United States, they are the biggest. The Chabad Messiah, his official doctrine said that non-Jews are essentially cattle. they are basically slaves. Okay? Do you understand that? I can read it to you if you want. I can get
No.
a second.
I agree with you. I understand what you're saying. I'm taking you at your word.
Okay, so Chabad is also this massive Zionist organization, one of the worst Zionist organizations in the world right now. So now we are living in this era right now, right, of Jewish supremacy. I know you don't think that, but entertain me for a second. Let's imagine
That's
that we
not
are
true
living.
as well, but go ahead.
I mean, you denied it, and that's the entire reason we're talking here.
Before asserting his positions, you should let him, just explain whether he thinks that.
So what I was saying there is that we live in this time of actual, like, real Jewish supremacy.
I'm not anti-Semitic, but let me tell you about how we live in an era of Jewish supremacy. Okay.
Jewish supremacists are committing genocide against people who aren't Jews. Now you're pretending you believe in that. Oh my God. But anyway, so we have this situation where Jewish supremacists are doing that.
Oh,
and one of the most important Jewish sects in the
supremacy.
world, along with many other Jews outside of this Jewish sect, quite literally believe as a matter of official doctrine that non-Jews are slaves for Jews. That their role basically is to be slaves for Jews. They are basically like cattle. So do you think in this moment there might be more utility to perhaps not screaming Nazi whenever someone throws these sorts of terms back at these people who are literal Jewish?
Are you a Jewish
These are people who
supremacist?
literally think. These are people who literally think. No, I'm explaining this to you. So goy, as the way these people use it, is a slur. So they use it against Palestinians they kill. Slave, goy, slave. Who cares?
An era of Jewish
Who gives a
supremacy.
fuck?
I do. I think it's
Why?
weird
What's the
for
point?
left. So first off, let's clarify. Thank you for that
my
filibuster. Did you or did you not call BGR or BRG? I'm not familiar. Did you or did you not call him a Zog slave on Twitter?
Absolutely, that term is fucking hilarious. Why shouldn't I?
So I don't think you should, because I don't think we should be operationalizing Nazi terminology to attack people we disagree with on the left. I think that's weird, unprincipled, and shitty. And I think that's why you have the reputation you have.
These are all just like, oh, I think it's weird, shitty. Dude, who gives a fuck, okay? We live in an age.
A lot of people, you have, listen, you can
We live in the age of Jewish
and you're splitting
supremacy.
hairs because I threw out this
But
funny term
you're
at someone who
me-
supports Zionists.
You're calling me
electorally.
Jewish supremacy, but you're using their terminology the same way they would use it.
They wouldn't call someone a Zog slave
What would they say?
negatively. They want to hide that sort of thing. They want to hide this idea that.
So you're going
know,
mask off as a Jewish supremacist.
what the fuck does that mean? What you're arguing doesn't even make sense.
You're calling people, as you say, Jewish supremacist slurs publicly to malign them. You're
So-
Zog
real quick.
supremacist slur.
Who is the origin point of the Zog? What are you saying about it? That
it's a guy BRG. He's
he
another
called him
prolific
a
He's a huge.
And you're
He's a massive electoralist. You know, he supports
that's-
all
I mean,
the
that's
latest
like-
politicians.
It's. I don't think it's really established in American or Western media apparatus that Zog is anything other than the dog whistle that it is. It's
I don't
Zionist
think
occupied
anyone in the
government.
American media apparatus even knows what that means.
Well, it's like the
I think a lot of people do.
You guys
Like,
you guys both disagree with the framing that Zionists occupy the government, right? It's imperialism
Yes.
the other way around.
I mean, it depends. In the government, yes, that's
Yeah.
Israel. argument,
Israel
yes.
doesn't
But the
control
thing is,
America.
Why are you worrying about this right now? That's
Well,
the
because
point.
we're talking
Why
about
are
the
you worrying?
terminology of
to me,
Zog.
let me explain. I worry about it because I recognize that when you do shit like that, it's not in support of Palestinians. It's not even to attack Zionism or to attack Israel. It's to bring attention to your channel and your content, so that
That's just
people-
speculation
so that
over my
you-
motivation.
it
It's worthless.
doesn't
You
matter.
don't know what I'm thinking
Sure.
about. You don't know. You don't have
It
any
doesn't-
proof of
Sure.
this.
Yeah, I'm just giving you my speculation. I'm telling you why I care. You can tell me why that's incorrect, but like telling me that that's my speculation is just saying
So
that
maybe the question: do you think is that in service of a broader
Bad
political
Empanada does not
goal,
care.
Bad Empanada, when you use language
He just
like
cares
that?
about his content.
Yeah,
No
absolutely.
way.
Because the
And
fact
what
of the
does it
matter
do?
is, we live in a
way.
world that is Jewish exceptionalist, Jewish supremacist, and this framework, these sorts of frameworks, are what specifically led to the genocide in Gaza. People, like the left, has been basically philo-Semitic for decades upon decades upon decades. We have held up Jews as like a special magical group beyond any level of scrutiny And there are still people who have this sort of mentality. Many,
What?
many people who basically
What
are
world
doing
is
PR
Madame Panella
for
living
Jewish
in?
people at a time when Jewish people are more reactionary than they have ever been in history. And this reactionary
So do
tendency among
PR
them is
for
being
Nazis.
weaponized for
Is what you're
genocide.
doing. It's to attack black leftists online, right? And
That's just a completely, you're not even addressing what I'm saying. You're just responding with, oh, you said something mean to a black man.
Is not
Okay.
material to your behavior. I'm talking about your behavior, which is categorically shitty behavior. And you act shitty because it gives you views. The
No,
It
thumbnails
doesn't
you
give me
have-
views.
No, no,
Here's
no.
what would give
No,
me
no, no,
views.
no.
Falling in line with
Thumbnails you
people
have
like you.
with my face on them. Let's pull up your channel now on Bad and Not Alive. The thumbnails
You try to reduce
my
everything
channel.
to drama. No, let me respond. You're trying to
I
reduce
mean,
everything to drama because
Then
what
why
actually
use the
happened
term?
here?
Because it's
What
funny.
actually happened here? First place, right?
Mhm.
Your friend Lil Bill made a video, an indirect response to my video on Jewish supremacy. One of the videos I made just like a week before he made that. Okay, that's the first thing that happened. I responded to him on his points on Jewish supremacy in Israel. Okay, then in response to
Jewish
that, you,
supremacy.
him, and 2 other people made a stream dedicated to basically indirectly refuting me for
I
whatever
mean-
reason, right?
Mhm.
Then I responded
what's
to
wrong with
that.
refuting?
And you try to reduce this to drama. And what we're talking about here are very
When did I-
important political concepts.
I'm sorry.
You're,
Yes,
to me, as always, you
the
would
world
use it
being
today,
a
like,
Jewish
oh, look at your
supremacist
channel. You
place
just
is
No,
a
no,
very
so
no,
sorry,
I'm
sorry.
talking
No, no,
about
I'm
this
just,
because these,
I'm just looking for clarity.
I'm talking about this because these are
Fuck me.
important political issues that matter to me. I don't give a fuck if it's you talking about them or anyone else.
Mhm.
You are specific, at least
It
I-
matters to
you are
you
specifically the
to
sort of
use
people who shouldn't be spreading this
slur
sort
and the Nazi dog whistle to malign
of slurs. Who gives a fuck if there's some
most
slur or
people
that feelings right
about
now?
using
Which people?
slurs.
Which people?
Most people who are affected by slurs.
So
Most
we're
people
talking about
use-
political issues here, and your response is basically, "Oh, you're not nice enough."
Political
No,
you use
issues.
term-
principled enough. Is that what you're doing is
This is
unprincipled
not what
and
principles.
not
Principles
useful.
being
Sure,
principle
Madame Panella is so talking about political issues. You would not believe.
means actually sticking to what you believe in. Right?
No, 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 no.
Can I
Being
believe
principled
that
means
Madame
to
Panella has
principally
a-
put forth the movement.
It's a big audience.
You're not even
that you are
responding
part
to
of.
what I said.
I'm
Wait,
directly
let him-
refuting
let him-
What I
Madame
said
Panella-
is, I said we were talking about political issues, Jewish supremacy in Israel, right?
Okay, fine. Let's go
Oh,
back.
now
Let's
it
go-
went from Jewish supremacy in Israel to Jewish supremacy worldwide.
That's why there are videos with your face. That's why there are thumbnails with your face in them on my channel.
Yes, let's go back. Let's go back. So
You're trying to reduce that to being nothing
I'm
but
not-
videos.
I'm not trying to
like
reduce
just for
it
the
at
sake
all.
of putting your face in the
I'm
thumbnail,
not
just
trying
for
to
the sake
reduce
of
it at all.
talking about you.
Well, no.
What you're doing here is like accusing me of grifting. Okay, it's
Yes.
accusing me of like just chasing
Yeah.
the
I
views.
mean,
If I
it's
wanted to
factually
chase the
true.
views, I would not be shitting on you. I'd be networking with you. I'd be networking with Hassan Pike. I'd be networking with people like you.
No,
That
you-
is how I would actually have way more subscribers,
So for-
way more views. If you don't rock the boat, you get way more fucking views. Noah
So-
Samson does not criticize people on the left, even though I know for a fact he thinks way less of way many of them than he will ever say. It's because he does not want to compromise his audience. Sorry, Noah, you know it's true.
No, I don't think so. I disagree.
I think it is.
Well, the reason I don't do that is
I know that
because
you agree with me on tons of things that you will never say publicly. You will never make
Better
comments.
when
about.
I-
It's
Yeah,
fine.
of course. You just to say everybody thinks that we live in a Jewish supremacy world, but just doesn't want to rock the boat, I guess. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Uh, Generation is ready.
listen. No.
the reason I don't do it is because I don't think the way the platform allows could bring any meaningful change other than big drama, big clash video.
I think it can.
What
bring
has though?
meaningful
Okay,
change.
so
In
for
fact,
you,
it can bring much
what
more
has
meaningful change
what
than
has
talking
brought
about the
positive
right-wing
change
endlessly.
in your eyes from what you do from other creators? Like, what can you visibly see? Has you say you've pushed the needle? How?
Absolutely. You see what's been happening with the first time ever that Hassan Piker is actually facing serious like left-wing backlash against his I'm going to support Zionist electorally strategy. Guess
That
who
doesn't have
started
shit
that?
to do with you. That has everything to do with Hassan's behavior in the moment.
How do you
I'm the
know
one
it
who's
was
been
you?
pointing this out. The entire reason why anyone even knows anything about Graham Plattner in this sphere is because of me, for example.
Yeah, of course. Panada is the mover and shaker in politics, online and offline and everywhere. Of course. It's all because of Panada pointing out that we live in a Jewish supremacist
I was talking
world.
about that from the very fucking beginning.
I will give
All
you
the shit that people is spreading about that comes from fucking me. Now, I don't care about taking
and you
credit
say
from
I
this,
have
right?
a big ego.
No, this isn't ego. This is just materially true. Like, I don't care about taking credit for this because I would still be right to talk about what I'm talking about, even if it didn't have an effect. I think it's naive to think
But the
that as a
question- but the
100K
question
subscriber
was,
YouTube,
what
you're going to have a
changed?
political event.
But the question
You're going to
is,
have a political
what
effect.
change have you contributed to as a byproduct?
What change have you contributed, true, though? None of us have contributed to much. It's YouTube. But you can at least try.
That
Right,
is-
but
that-
only one of
You
us,
should at
real
least
quick,
try. You should at least try to
only
be as
one of us
correct
was
and
rationalizing saying Zog under the guise that this was principled and helped.
What's wrong with saying Zog? It's fucking hilarious.
Well, I mean,
it's not hilarious.
If you see some-
immediately,
Okay, let me-
immediately turns people off
Here's what's
to what you're trying to say because it's
What
understood
people?
as a slur.
no. Most people don't even know what the fuck that means. I don't know.
Well, if they learn that
of
it's Zionist,
Panada
if they learn
viewers
that it's
and
Zionist
base
occupied
listeners, so
government,
it's
then
okay.
what that means is that it's the wrong
No,
imperialist.
that's not what most people would think. Most people.
If most people don't know what it means, then why even say it? Why say a thing that most people will not even understand? And what's so funny about it then? If nobody gets the joke, then why? Then how is it even funny?
If
You
you
have
think
most
that the
people
U.S. government is
that you're not.
Right, but you know that's not
most
true.
people
You know that's
in
not
the
true.
U.S. would intuitively think that the U.S. government is occupied by Zionists. Now, is that not true? Yeah, but do I think that right now it's really important for us
Do
to
you-
on why that's not
but
true?
The
you
US
know- you
government is
understand
This is
occupied
a
by
big word.
Zionists.
Defense.
Right. This
That's
is
a good-
Boston Destiny. Which, by the way, he did. I don't even want to get into the fact that you defended.
Okay, so let's
use
talk
of
about
Uncle Tom.
let's talk about the difference between those things. Okay, Jews right now are in a position of massive social, political, and economic power. That's something that you will deny. You will call it
No,
anti-Semitic, but it's fucking
I
true.
wouldn't deny that. I wouldn't deny that.
Calling some like saying
So
slave
real
to
quick, so you
someone,
attributed
like
the
saying
pos-
slave to
real
someone
quick.
when they are spreading. Let me finish. When saying
Okay.
Zog slave to someone or goy slave or whatever or good goy or whatever. For one, it's hilarious. Doesn't matter. The N word isn't hilarious. How is the N word funny? If you could
The
come with a
N-word is
good scenario
incredibly
for that,
funny.
I don't know.
But it's still harmful and hurtful.
Who is this harmful and hurtful to? When you call someone who is
also
that?
racism movements and the ability
You-
to.
The conspiracy theorizing. This is the left, huh? This is the political left, I guess. Well done. Well done, the left TM. Well done.
To
educate
Jewish
on
people,
those issues.
a
He's talking
Jewish
about the
person,
N-
like goy is these aren't things that are like used against Jews. Like you're a zong, you're a goy. If anything, they call people
No.
goys negatively. Just
Right, right.
yeah, it's not the same thing, is it?
I'm not comparing Jewish suppression or whatever.
Oh my god.
To black people oppression, I don't think that's a good comparison to make.
Well, what I'm saying here is we live in a moment, right? We live in a moment where Jewish supremacy is rampant
So you
in regards to
use slur.
Israel.
So-
When
and that's-
Jewish
you know
supremacy
what's
is
funny?
rampant,
No,
and there are
You know what's
people.
funny? Let me. Can I
No,
say-
you let me finish because there are
All right, I'll
people
let
who are
you finish.
perpetuating
So is the
frame.
Jewish supremacy rampant when it comes to Israel, or is it rampant globally? Those are two different statements, aren't they?
Works that specifically help to perpetuate Jewish supremacy, right?
Mhm.
So we have someone like BRG, who, at least I used to think he was like a left-wing communist sort of guy, and then he really got caught up in this sort of DSA electoralism, and now he does a ton of like anti-Semitism policing on behalf of the Democratic Party. You know, he will do anti-Semitism call-outs like, "Oh my God, you guys have been real fucking weird about Jewish people."
I mean, Ben Empanada must be really, really happy to finally be able to be openly anti-Semitic, which has been unacceptable for years and years, but now, I mean, unacceptable in some circles, but now he can just be loud and proud about his thing. Very, very, very happy time for Bad Empanada, I guess.
People right now, whatever the fuck. At a time when, you know, Jews certainly do not need you to defend their honor. If anything, we need people to push back against this sort of notion that Jewish feelings are some sort of super important thing, that there's this massive Jewish oppression, basically the Jewish exceptionalism sort of thing, where people have this taken for granted notion that in spite of like all material circumstances point to something very different, that Jews are this oppressed group who need us to defend them all the fucking time, right? Because that is something that specifically enables Israel. That's something that has for a very long time been a problem that has specifically enabled Israel.
So much for the whole argumentation that, so much for people trying to say that Jewish people and Israelis are not the same thing. To Bad Empanada, it's absolutely the same thing. According to Bad Empanada, I deserve the scrutiny because I'm the supremacy super group.
People from the left have been like acting like PR for Jewish people, basically. And I think when someone is like playing that sort of role, like using this fucking humorous term, Zog slave, goy slave, whatever.
Oh.
This shit is why would I call him an N-word? He's not doing anything.
Why not? It's also funny.
For one,
Call
it's
him a
never
nigger.
okay to
call
call
me a
someone
nigger
an
in your
N-word.
videos, Bad Empanada. They're funny. They'll get you views.
I'm not arguing that it's funny.
But you think stop. Let's just talk for a second.
Right now.
Let me go. You think I'm a liberal Zionist? You think I run cover for Jewish supremacy? You think that it's more important to be funny and identify the flaws in your enemies?
That's not what.
Call me a nigger with the hard ER. You defended Norm
Can you
Stein's.
respond? I don't understand how you think this is like some sort of good response to what I'm saying, because the term goy slave is no, it's not. It doesn't make any sense what you're saying, because the term goy slave is of direct relation to what I'm talking about here.
But my point
Jewish
is, you're
supremacy,
defending
Jewish
your use of
exceptionalism.
slurs because they're funny, because they're hilarious, and because you get the right to do that.
No, that wasn't the
Because
brunt
you
of what
think
I
the
was
person-
saying. It's not a
Finally,
slur.
folks.
You hate it. It's hilarious.
I guess the
I'm sorry,
N-word is
I'm
too
sorry.
much.
Okay,
for
a question.
Bad
Who is
Empanada.
the term goy slave a slur again?
I'm sorry. I don't know enough to say that goy slave is a slur to any particular person, but I do know it's a Nazi term popularized from
Like
the
Nazi terms.
that
Zionist is also a
it's
Nazi.
just a Nazi term. That's kind of a thing. But the whole point is, regardless of whether or not the term is a slur, you know and knew in the moment that it was highly offensive to say that to anyone.
To who?
Let alone
To who is it offensive and why?
to anyone, let alone a black man who is
How
not
does
just
being black
and
change
not-
anything?
How does saying calling a black man a slave change?
A goy slave, whatever.
First off, Zog slave. The term
Oh
Zog,
my God.
again, from the Turner Diaries, the Nazi
I
body.
mean, Zog is like even
your
less
defense,
of a
your defense has
less
been
like calling some
No.
Zionist occupied. That doesn't even make
your
sense.
defense has been who
This
cares?
is on my,
That's
is this
hilarious.
the on my left?
By that rationale,
That wasn't my defense. That my defense was prefaced with something about how right now it's important that we challenge
Isn't-
these sorts of idiotic
why
frameworks
can't
of like
those
Jewish supremacy,
frameworks
Jewish
without
exceptionalism.
using clearly offensive, fundamentally unprincipled, and distracting language? Because if you think that allows
I
you to
do that all the fucking time.
then call me the N-word right now on camera. If you do it all the time, if you don't think there's a difference, if you
Who
don't
said I
think it
use the
matters.
N-word all the time? I do it all the time.
No, the-
I said
Oh,
I
coward.
said I
Why
respond to
won't
these
you-
things in the way that
Then
you
Bad
say I
Empanada,
should all the time.
Why won't you call me a nigger right now?
Because
if you
how is that relevant to it? Why would I call you that?
Because it
What into what we're
understand the
saying at all?
difference, Mr. Empanada.
I
It shows that
explained
you-
the difference.
No,
This term is
no,
of
no. Let
direct
me explain the
relation
difference.
to his
You know what-
behavior.
Look, let me know
In
what you can
regards
get
to
away
him
with.
defending Jewish supremacy. Do you understand the
Then-
difference? He is defending Jewish supremacy.
You could have
so
said
I
that.
respond to
You
him
could have
by
said,
saying like, "Oh,
Bad
great
empanada.
fucking job!
You
You're
could have
doing
said-
great work on behalf of the supposedly Jewish community."
You could have said
Supposed
in
Jewish
this tweet,
community.
BGR is defending Jewish supremacy by such and such and such. You could have done that. That wouldn't have went off in the fucking algorithm. So instead,
Everyone
you made a
what
hilarious.
do you mean in the algorithm?
But then why did you? It's funny to you. You could have avoided that language, and you
man.
chose not to because you're unprincipled. Because you care more about the attention
Have you ever
economy.
called anyone a dumbass?
Bad
Have you ever called
empanada
anyone an
and
idiot? Have you
princess.
ever
Yes,
used them?
no
Yes.
way,
Anyone?
bro.
Those words are not intrinsically tied to Nazis or slavery.
Zog slave isn't intrinsically tied to Nazism either. It came like 40 years. Zog slave, I don't even think they ever used that term. They just used the term Zog.
It came from the
This came like
German
40 years after the actual
It
Nazis.
literally came from Nazis.
Second thing, why are you so obsessed with Nazis? Why are you always talking about the Nazis under the bed? There's
You
always
use
been
their
much
terms,
more
not me.
No, there's always been much more talk of
This
Nazis
is
in
gonna
your
be easy,
content
didn't you, Mr.
than Zion. This is extremely easy. Like, you're not even dealing with the actual issue.
I'm not getting
The
owned. I'm
issue-
not getting owned. I'm not getting owned.
The issue was never, and that's the thing.
You want to talk
this.
about the actual issue? The issue was
No.
that
That's the
first
thing.
issue from
you couldn't
first- from the
actually
first
material critique things I was saying.
I really critiqued you completely. I responded to you on Jewish.
You had to find, and it was so funny, and I regret it all. Despite the fact that I've been able to expose you in the moment, I regret it
How
all.
have you exposed? Okay, let's talk
Because
about.
I'm exposing the
what I
I'm
responded to
exposing
you
the
on.
logic you operate with. Because
logic.
your defense for your
I mean,
behavior
everybody knows that
is
Bad
that
Empanada
you should be
doesn't
able to
care
behave.
about
This, and what's
anything. It's
funny
not new.
is that although I disagree with a lot of what Lil Bill said in that video,
You're
the
just
whole
straight up
point,
lying about what I'm
Let
saying.
me
Shut the fuck up.
Let me
You let
finish.
me talk because you're lying. You're
No,
mischaracterizing.
I'm gonna mute.
what-
Hold on. How
This
do I
is
mute?
what you do.
How do I mute?
You don't fucking.
Okay, he's muted. Go ahead.
I'm not
The-
muted.
the irony is that the inception of this was
Let me actually say my argument. Let me.
give me your argument for
Okay,
your
okay,
right
okay.
to use
You are
offensive
ignoring
language.
part of what I said. You ignored the first part of what I said to focus on how I said. I said first thing it's funny. That's obviously a minor point, right? That's not the main thing.
Oh,
Okay.
well, that's the
I said a
thing
bunch
that
of
you
stuff before that,
vocalized.
didn't I?
That's funny.
Did you respond to the stuff that I said before that, which was the main point?
I don't disagree with the stuff you said before that. That's my point.
If you don't disagree with that, then you clearly understand how it's fucking important to pull this shit out right now.
That's the
That's
whole
not a
point.
slur. It isn't a fucking
I'm
slur.
sorry.
Goy
I don't
slave
have to
isn't a
use
slur.
racially charged Nazi dog whistles in between that, and neither do you. You
How
don't
is that
have
a
to
slur?
do that,
No,
but
I
nobody
want you
will
to
pay
explain how it's
attention
a
to
slur.
you
What is-
unless you act in that way,
You're
and you
saying this
care
is a
more about
slur.
attention
Do you
than
see-
the politics you say that you're so principled on.
But you see,
Explain
you
that.
see how it can
It's all
cause
about money,
people that
clicks.
might otherwise be sympathetic to your arguments, like FD, who said he
He's a
agreed.
I
content
genuinely
creator
don't
first
care. I
and
think this
foremost.
isn't really important compared to his defense of his idea that doesn't even exist. I think he's using this as a deflection from the main point of why I was responding to him in the first
I don't think
place.
he believes that it doesn't exist. I don't think he said he does.
He does. Yes, he. I mean, I responded to him on this. He was defending
In
Lil
what?
Bill's take, which was that Jewish supremacy practically doesn't exist.
Is that
did.
something you think, FD?
No.
So there can.
And then
So-
why did you go on a stream with 3 other people who all denied that?
So can we?
Because that's
It's funny because I tried to bring you to that a while ago.
And
it was-
also, let's talk about the let's after that we can talk about your video about how Ebenezer is a anti-Jewish
Okay, we talked about that.
We can talk about it again.
No, I
Yeah,
think.
it's.
I mean, we can just go over that
let's-
very
let's-
briefly. Do you
let's
think it's
establish some
ridiculous to be
things.
looking for secret anti-Semitism in Disney movies right now?
So as much as I would love to travel there, I want to make sure you understand that what started
my
this
God.
line of thinking and conversation, apart from you, was watching individuals such as you use the excuse of desiring Palestinian liberation, of wanting to be anti-Israel, anti-Zionist, use that, which is gross as shit, as an excuse.
These are just
as an
generic tone
excuse.
policing.
It's tone policing. Sure. Call me a nigga.
It is. It's pointless. It's
Then
useless.
I can't police your
This is,
tone.
like, you don't
right
have
now.
the material. This
I
is the
can't believe
problem
it.
with you.
Because
You don't
there's-
deal with
there's a
anything
reason-
that really matters.
There's
What
a
a
reason
mess.
why you have not called me a nigger live in front of this audience right now. Is because
That's
you
not even
understand-
remotely the same.
He's a
It's because you
coward.
understand the necessity.
But I will
of
call you a
tone.
goy slave.
Okay,
But
sure.
he's a coward, that's
Because
why.
of the interest of Jewish supremacy at a
Understand
time
the
of
necessity.
Jewish
you
Would not
supremacy.
be acceptable.
You understand the necessity of tone, and you know what you can and cannot
No, he
get
doesn't.
away
He's
with.
just too much of a
And
coward.
because-
Gives a shit what I can and cannot get away with.
You
I want
do.
to change the
Otherwise-
tone. I want to move the
otherwise-
needle. I want to change what is acceptable. You don't.
But
You
if
want to
but if
remain-
right
you
now,
want to
if right
remain in
now,
this liberal
if
bubble
right
of
now,
what is technically
if you want to move the
acceptable in
needle,
current
if you
times.
want to
Wants
move
to
the
move the
needle, and right
needle,
now you
slurs.
know that something
So
like that is
brave.
going to be interpreted in the way FD has interpreted it, then why use it when it's completely unnecessary? Is that a tactical?
Here's
move
a
the
fact
needle
for
of
you
what
right now. A fact
acceptable.
that you guys will never admit, but is actually true. Right now, in the USA, there are infinite, in the USA, I particularly mention just because it's you guys, not because it's the only thing that I care about, there are infinitely more people who are amenable to something like that than who will look at it and even understand it in the negative way that you guys do. There are infinitely more people right now in the USA who have this unprincipled, as you called it, idea that there is some sort of funny business going on with U.S.
Therefore,
support
we
of
need
Israel. They don't
slurs.
understand, precisely why
This
it
is
is,
conspiracy
but they
theory,
see
by
it.
the way.
And when you see that, when you see all of this weird fucking shit, like how much your government protects Israel, kind of illogically, given how bad love is, you're going to think, are we controlled by these guys? Now, it might be untrue, and in the very long term, which doesn't really matter because we're all going to die to climate change, it might even be detrimental. But in this situation, if you're splitting hairs because someone said the word Zog, which is what this was like argument, by the way. You remember her long statement. Half of that was a complaint that she saw people saying Zog on Twitter. Okay,
I didn't actually.
then where are your priorities at? What are we even doing at this point? If this is what we're complaining about. It's like complaining about an anti-German
But, so
slur, which
empanada.
it isn't to be clear, at the height of Nazism. It's like complaining that you saw someone call someone a kraut slave. It's totally nonsensical. It's idiotic. Like,
But
what are we
the thing,
doing?
though, all you have. So we can go and we can talk about me having to learn more about Jewish supremacy and Jewish exceptionalism. We can talk about whether or not it's valuable. I would like to talk. I'll let you speak pretty much unimpeded a second. Can I go, please?
No, you haven't.
He totally just did for like 5 minutes.
Okay, that time he did. Thank you, finally.
Thank you. So we can get to we could very easily get to other subjects and issues around this problem. There could be very good use for the perspective you bring to the table. But you
I'm sure that
center yourself
chief
in your desire to be an edgy
anti-Semite
boy
has so many
and make really funny
good
jokes and refuse to acknowledge
to bring to the
the
table.
standards, refusing to acknowledge just caring about your comrades, the people in the space with you, the greater audience watching, and the history of what it means to be called a slave as a black man, the history of where the term Zog comes from. You could easily just came on stream and said, you know what, probably shouldn't have said that. Real talk, that was probably a distraction. And then we could have been on to things that are way more meaningful. But you've dug your heels in for your right to use offensive language. You are Bosch.
What are those?
You are the new
What are those meaningful things? Conflating Jewishness with being Israeli?
Bosch. It's so fucking funny how
Your
full
politics
circle
are the
this
same
is.
as Vosh.
You are the same as Vosch, and that's even more pathetic.
Why is that more?
Because unlike
Okay,
Vosch,
hold
like
on.
I said
Why is
before, you're not as good
How
looking,
is that even
or
an insult?
charismatic.
But
It's good,
why
so
do
you
you
can't
Vosch.
attract an audience,
You're
and you're
Vosch.
Why
trying
do
to
you
use
think
his
that?
tactics, and you don't know how to defend them in the
Vosch.
same.
Why do you think that your perception of rhetorical similarity is more important than
I don't
actual
think
politics
that.
being
I
the
don't
same?
think that.
Okay,
I
so
think
your
it's bare
politics are the same
minimum.
as Vosch.
No, I don't think that. I just think that it's bare minimum as an interlocutor who says their priority is Palestinian liberation. I think it's bare. I think not adhering to a bare minimum of not being an edgelord asshole who uses language that offends and amplifies
God.
Nazis. The fact that you want that.
Who does it
It
offend?
needs to see. It offended me to see you say to
That
a
offends you just as I care
no,
if
and
it's some
my
random
point,
Zionist Jew.
you care more about being an edgy boy. You are
Dude,
Bosch.
Fat and
Plenty
Panada,
of,
every
your
Jewish
argument
person
here,
is
I'm
a
offended.
Zionist, by the
I'm
way.
offended. Okay.
No,
I think
know,
the
it's
argument
not-
goes deeper into the actual practical utility of the way you act online, where more people would take you seriously if you didn't troll. And you know you joke around, right? But you troll. You know that, right?
I think what's much more important.
More important
is
isn't
the
different than
politics.
also important.
What's much more important
Every
is that FD
Jewish
signifies
person to him is a
politics are
Zionist.
exactly the same as Vosh.
FD, is that true?
No.
Okay, where do you differ politically from Vosh? Like in your end goals, in your like in what you think should be done right now, where do you differ?
I don't know enough about Vosch's politics to say exactly.
Okay, well, he
I didn't
thinks that
spend
we should
years.
vote for
I didn't
Democratic
spend
Party
years
entries.
watching Vosch's videos and reacting to him to ironically glean.
Like a long video about Vosh.
No,
He made like a really long video called Breaking Bread about Vosh.
no, it was not about Vosh.
It was
It was about shit like this. You don't even watch me.
the vast majority of it. Yeah, of course I don't. You make videos like about wrestling and like
Yeah,
care
culture
about
video.
that. Why would
I make pop culture videos. I am not an expert on the history of the conflict between Israel and Palestine and the genocide. I'm not an expert on all that. I don't know a lot of things. You know, you're a history guy, right? That's your master's in history.
I
And
think you
I'm-
need to know about
and
history,
I'm-
not
let me-
saying
let
them
me
constantly
finish.
as you do.
Let me finish. I
Wait, Bana
have
Panada
a
has a
different
master's in
background
history. I
that
don't
lends
believe
itself to a different type
that.
of content.
I don't believe that.
And you
Does he?
have a different background that lends itself to a different type of content. We both, I believe, have the same political goals, but I know enough
Oh God, that's
to not
depressing.
just walk around being a shitty edgelord for the sake of my own masturbatory desire to be the edgiest boy on the online level. That's what it comes down to. I think most people, and I've heard people say this, most people respect the value of some of your essays and how they've gotten into these topics.
Maybe years ago.
But everybody thinks you're a gross weirdo. And it's not just
true.
because of how you behave, it's because of how you behave when you're critiqued on your behavior. And this is a perfect example. It's not even like I can't get you to just acknowledge, hey, maybe I shouldn't, like, if not just for the fact that this non-debate, if not just for the fact that this conversation could have been about more material issues.
It can
But
be.
you- but
I've been
you-
trying
To learn
to
how
push
to
them
deal
to
with
that,
this
but you're
character.
talking about
But-
how
but
an
Under the
insult hurt
context,
your
you've been trying to push
feelings.
them to that under the context of defending your use of the
Your use of
Zog.
yeah, like, and that's,
you
that's
just-
the bottom line.
What's wrong with using the word Zog? Explain. You have not explained. You just said it's insulting. It's offensive. To who? Oh my God, your hair is worse than mine. I'm so sorry, man.
Well, I mean, you understand the failings of the
Oh.
interpretation of Israel controlling America, right? You
And
don't
you were
agree with
excited to
that.
come
It's
up
not
here.
important. It
You were
doesn't matter
excited
if
to
I
come up
understand
here.
that it's
You
seriously
were
not important. In the same way that I understand that Nazism is bad, but Nazism is also not a serious present-day political
Imagine
current.
if I was in front. Look at you, your lip is quivering. Like,
What's my limbus quivering mean? I have Tourette's. I'm sorry.
so you're like Ethan Klein. You're using
Yeah.
Tourette's as an
Yeah, but
excuse.
I'm not on drugs, so it's not as obvious.
Tourette's makes
Oh,
me say
man.
Zog.
Right, like,
No, that's not what I mean. Like,
I
if I'm making
know.
mistakes,
You
I
had
have
full
facial
capacity to not say these things. Like, you could have called me the N-word and said, "Oh, it's my Tourette's," and maybe you'd got away with that shit.
No, I never
Well-
said I had Tourette's before until now. But
Oh.
it's irrelevant. It doesn't really manifest in, it makes my face twitch every now and again. It's not that big of a deal.
Wait, do you actually have Tourette's?
Yes.
Oh,
but
oh,
it's
sorry.
You
irrelevant.
should have
Doesn't matter.
never stood in front of me, George. This was not the move you should have made. You
So
should have
I want
made-
to.
you should have
So
made
you went.
that-
You went off there.
You should have watched my Beyonce video.
What do you mean bad? How was me responding to you bad faith for one? Like my videos responding to you. Would you say the arguments that I made in response to you were bad faith? Like they
you
were
know-
not
You
legitimate
know what I'm gonna
responses
do?
to what
You know
you
what
were
I'm gonna
saying?
do? You know what I'm gonna do?
You
I'm
could just
gonna not
respond to what
in-
I said there.
I'm gonna continue to not respond to your bad faith.
I feel like
nonsense.
I'm playing
You
against
can't
the
just
same
say what I'm
person
saying is
over
I
and
bad
over.
faith
can't.
as an
I can't.
excuse
What
to
you gonna do
ignore it.
about it?
Because I
George, you
responded
gonna make
to
a
you
video?
directly. I
Make
directly
the
responded
FD
to
signature
arguments.
content and call me the N-word in it. Get your, if
This
you
is just
do
your
300,000
excuse to avoid responding to me. Look, here's what you said, right?
No.
Here's what you said in my comments.
I'll respond on my platform, on my
So
terms.
you have me right here. I
I don't give a
responded
shit
to you
about you though.
because
I'm-
that there are
I'll
three
bring you in
anti-Zim
as-
dog whistles
I
in
let
his.
you in here because deep down I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure this motherfucker's a paper tiger. I'm pretty sure that if he stands in front of somebody,
Yeah,
Bro.
you're pretty sure that if you avoid actually talking about the issues, I'm here to talk about the fucking
But we-
issues.
but no, but
I'm
we
not
don't-
to insult,
because
to insult your
conspiratorial
content,
issues.
even though I might do it as an aside. I'm here to talk about the actual issues. But you're making it about like my motivations, about like like tone policing shit. But if you want to make it about that, why didn't I read off the comment that you left on my video, where you basically said that you were in it to like form parasocial relationships with your audience, and that according to you, I'm not as good at that.
Did I basically say that? What is the
Yeah,
term?
I'll read it off.
Yeah.
I'll read it off. I'll read it off.
I would
okay?
like to read it. Can I read it?
Here's what you said.
Please do.
YouTube
I wanna
rewards
read it. I wanna
Wait, let
read
him
it.
read it, let him read it.
YouTube people who present a part of this to an audience. People don't watch me because I'm the smartest, most principled leftist. People don't watch my long videos about obscure rappers they've never heard of because they care that much about the topic. They watch me because they're invested in my perspective. They want to know what I'm thinking about almost anything. This is also why I don't talk about things I'm not super knowledgeable about in my content. They watch me because I'm entertaining. I'm an entertainer. So are you. We all are. I learned this from you before I even started seriously making videos. So, you see, my philosophy is the complete opposite of that. I don't want people to like me.
It's not, though. And that's the funny thing.
It
It's
is.
not.
I think I make videos that stand up on their own merits, and anyone
No,
should be
you
able to
don't.
watch them, irrespective of who I am as a person, and
That's
see the
bullshit.
value in them. I'd like to think that
You're a
you think
cult
that
of
about your content
personality
as well,
first and
but
foremost.
after reading that, I'm not exactly so sure, because you seem to have been making an argument that people watch you just because they like you rather than because they think you're actually making like good
See,
videos.
unlike you, I have an accurate assessment of. Well, no, actually,
I have an accurate assessment of where we are.
I have an accurate assessment.
Let me rephrase that.
I have an
agree
accurate-
I have an
with you.
honest
Mine is the most
assessment.
accurate.
Unlike you, I have an honest assessment of the online left and my place in it. You like to
controlling so much.
mythologize that you're some type of truth teller, that you're some type of rebel or renegade figure within the
Sure.
online left, and that's why people don't like you and don't want to talk to you. But everybody,
It's absolutely true.
etc.
That's why people don't respond to my actual points like you don't.
It's
knew it.
because your actual points are not good, and I don't have to
you.
respond to your bad faith points.
Oh, so this is the thing, right?
Oh,
You're
did you like
proving
my
what I
debate
say
pitch,
about
Master?
people like you who respond to me, right? You just immediately discard what I say, my actual arguments in response to you. I made like a 30-minute video
showed-
responding to there was
no,
secretism,
I
right?
showed at the
I
beginning
responded
of
What
to
did
your
you think
points.
of it?
I showed evidence for my arguments against you, and your response to that is to just say, I don't have to respond to it, it's bad faith, whatever. So you are
Maybe I
literally
should
making
debate
my point
people
for
more.
me.
What do you
You're
think?
harping
Should I
on
debate
your
people
idea
more?
that like I have bad optics or whatever to avoid
Never use
talking
the word
about my
optics.
actual material points, the actual refutations of your
Material
arguments.
points. The
You just did
material
it right
realities
there.
of my points.
Derailed me from the point I was trying to make. Where are we going? We were talking about the comment I left.
Yeah. And then you said that the
and what's
reason why
funny-
you don't
what's
respond
funny-
to
what's
what I actually
funny-
say to you on the
what's-
issues is because
what's
you,
funny?
you just don't have to. Okay.
funny
Well, then you
is-
really don't care about the issues.
What's funny is that I linked an old video of yours.
Yeah, you
From-
linked an old video of yours where what did I say in that video? That this shit isn't that important, right? That try as we might, we might not have as big of an effect as we think we do as internet creators, right?
So what
I
should we
agree
do?
with you completely on that. But
Okay,
that's the
okay.
thing. You aren't just saying that. You were also saying that your strategy is to like basically build a parasocial connection with people. right?
Let's go find the video. Let's go find the video.
Like you were giving me advice, and it was like I should make people.
I was
me
just trolling
so
back.
they
to be
watch me
honest.
more.
I was trolling back because I know deep down inside the biggest.
I wasn't
issue,
trolling you, dude. I was responding to a video that you.
No.
made.
I was trolling.
That was wrong.
No, I was trolling you back.
No,
on-
you said you were
No, I was
trolling me
trolling
back.
you.
I was never trolling you.
Okay,
I was responding
So
to
you,
your
so you
fucking
do
troll,
respect me. Is that
I
why you
don't
haven't
res-
called me the N word?
I don't have to respect you to not call you the N word.
Oh man, that's.
Do you have
such
to
a-
not call them?
Pat yourself on the back for that. Let
Do
me
you have
see.
to respect people and not call them slurs? I'd like to get into the implications of that.
No,
one.
no. I, unlike you, out of principle. Let me. Oh crap. What are we doing?
Is a slur? I'm interested in this slur discussion. Lots of people are offended when I call them that.
What about cracker?
Is that a slur? It is. It's actually very racist, very offensive to the white people like myself.
Why is this not working?
It's almost like you guys can understand that actually certain supposed slurs are not at all offensive or at all something to get up in arms about.
Yeah, if you don't. So again, this is a Vosh talking point. I don't think
How?
because that's exactly what he said. Him and Destiny. Destiny had a whole arc about how it's okay for them to use.
He's the person. No, that's not. That's the complete different. Like I'm saying that there are
not.
certain things
Not.
that technically are slurs, like cracker, that we understand have no real power and no real influence, and that don't matter. And calling someone like a goy or a zog or whatever in a joking way is exactly the same as that. Like Jewish like anti-Semitism right now is approaching the level of fucking like anti-white racism, right?
God,
And so
people
when you're
from
using these terms that are supposedly offensive
English-speaking
to
West are
Jews,
so
who gives a fuck?
just
Honestly.
obsessed with
And we're
slurs.
talking about things that like this is also specifically like a word like goy, for example. This is a slur that Jews use against non-Jews, so it doesn't even really apply. And Zog means Zionist occupied government, right? That's not a slur. That's a fucking abbreviation for a term. How on earth is that a slur? Like, I'll give you that I probably should have thought a bit about calling him a slave, but apart from that, the Zog part isn't offensive at all. In fact, if anything, it's an accurate description of the way that people like that act, where they're just obsessed with like defending the honor of Jewish people, as if that's something that people should all be concerned with.
Okay, people
Wait,
should not be
why
anti-Semitic
isn't
and
this working?
conflating
How do I
being
do
Jewish
I'll link it
with
to you.
being
No.
Israeli.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to, because the irony of all of this is, I remember before, right around when I started, I can't find it.
I mean,
and,
you mean
know,
my
it's
debate
fine.
opponent was
Right
kind of
around
cringe?
when I started percolating on the online left and getting attention, I saw that video of yours where it might have been somewhat influential to Break Bread, which you swear is a takedown video. And you said something along the lines, and you just agreed to it just now, that the actual real nature of this type of engagement of this platform is for micro celebrities to entertain an audience, that it does not contribute meaningfully to any type of true material change in the world, and that anybody that's telling you that they are is a liar, and anybody that positions themselves as some type of vanguard figure in their content is a grifter.
I don't think I said that last part at all.
Okay,
I do agree with what you're saying there. Obviously, I said that,
so
right? That I don't think this is nearly as important as many people think it is does not mean that I don't believe in what I'm saying. Does not mean
I'm not
I don't
saying
think he believes
I'm
in
not
what he's
saying you
saying.
don't believe in what you're saying.
I am saying
yeah,
that.
but you're implying that I'm doing it for
I'm
money, right?
implying-
I say
He
the
is
things
doing
that
it
I
for-
say because
yeah.
I do believe in them, and people happen to find that entertaining or they happen to find
Yeah.
it insightful. That's fucking great, right? Like, I don't make
I don't think he
videos
believes in
seeking
anything,
an audience.
quite
I make
honestly.
videos based, on my main channel. I make videos on whatever's interesting to me in the moment. Right now, I'm making a video about the Bosnian War. It's going to get like 20,000 views. No one's going to fucking watch it because that's just what I wanted to talk about
But
right
you can
now.
supplement it. You can supplement it with Drama Slop on Bad Empanada Live.
What do you
Yeah.
think of the videos that you're talking about you are drama slop? Because I was responding to your
So
argument.
first off, the first thing I pointed out was that you clipped an out of context conversation that where nothing of what I said in that moment made much sense at all, and
Which
labeled
one?
it as the short that has 71,000 views. That's like the most viewed short you posted.
Well,
on
yeah,
your
you said
channel.
Zionist is a Nazi dog.
Did I?
He didn't.
Let's roll the.
He didn't.
I didn't.
He
say
did.
He didn't
in
say
that
that.
clip. That's
I
what he
didn't-
said.
No, we
No,
watched
I
the
didn't
clip.
say
We
In
that.
that
watched the
clip,
clip.
that's
You're
what he said.
literally
He didn't say it.
We watched that live just now.
We watched it.
You labeled it as such.
He didn't say
you
that.
applied as such, but I did not say that.
Man, what did you say in that clip? What
No.
did you mean
How
to say
about
in that
how
clip?
about Bad Empanada? How about say, "Oops, my bad. I'm sorry." How about saying?
That's what you
"I was
said. You said-
incorrect"? No,
you-
It's what he said.
Including-
It's
I'm
not what he
ignoring-
said.
I've been yelling. My kids. I've been ignoring my kids. I've been ignoring my wife, and I've been here for 2.5 hours. If you cannot just objectively own up to the fact that you clipped something out of context and labeled it with quotes that I
So
said,
is
that I
that
didn't
short
say.
the only thing that you have a problem with? Because that short is from
That short-
after
that
you
short is-
complaining about me.
And
Short
you're
is
changing the
emblem-
subject now.
That short.
This just sounds like you're looking for a roundabout way to get around actually responding to my substantive criticisms of you. Because I made
Substantive
30-minute long
criticism, of
video responding to you
So
and others. It
it's
wasn't
better
just
for
you, it
us
was other
to
people as well.
substantive.
But
On
if I
Jewish
know-
supremacy.
uh,
And then on you spreading
Better
out
not.
the anti-Semitism crisis narrative.
If I know your standard is to purposefully.
way.
and
See, this
will-
is the thing. You're just you're just insisting that you don't have to respond to me because you can offhandedly discount what I have
Why?
to say
Mr.
because you
Mr.
just know
George.
that this is what I'm
Yeah.
like. Bullshit, dude.
Wait, FD, you're muted.
No way
Hold
did
on.
that work 3 times
Sorry,
in a row.
sorry. But you have to unmute. Okay, try now.
Okay, here we go. The question that I want you to ask is why would I meaningfully respond to you when I know you're going to willfully misrepresent what I'm saying, lie about it, and then not apologize, and that this is a history of behavior for you? Why would I do that? Who the fuck do you think you are?
Simple question here.
No,
what did I
no,
say in
answer
my
my
actual
question.
videos
Answer
to you
yours.
that you think was that?
Noah, I'm going to donate some money. And
Here's
I
the thing. Here's the thing, okay?
I
You
hope
do
the
this
stream
to me.
goes
You do
well.
what you're saying to me. You lie about
Okay, well, I'm really, I don't know if I should say sorry or
No, you know what? You know what? That was satisfying. And I think a lot of people will get satisfaction from that. Not, I hate that it had to happen.
It was not satisfying.
But it is what it
That
is.
was
I'm
silly
gonna please.
on both
I'll
sides.
do the thing some other time. Peace and blessings to the chat.
thanks, man. Thanks for coming on. All right. Well, it just seemed like that got to a point where it wasn't going to be very productive. So make sure to donate. Links in the description. What did you guys think?
Oh, it was silly. What can I say? Look at this. I spent 100 days learning the worst character in
Dizzy!
Gear
She doesn't really fit into Strides. I actually think her main problem is she doesn't really stand out in any regard.
I don't think Dizzy's a viable character.
She's not good at anything.
She's really boring.
Pretty much terrible.
The worst character in the game.
There's no stylistic choice in picking Dizzy. She just doesn't do anything.
Damn. That's so mean.
Although this video was only supposed to be 10 hours, it became 100 days. This is the story of how I hit Celestial for the first time on the weakest character in the game.
No way!
But our story does start on Dizzy's release.
Dude, she looks so sweet.
Because at the beginning, I didn't know she was the weakest character in the game yet. Alright, we're gonna rock this one. All I knew in this moment was that she looked cool and her set play looked cool, and I wanted to know how she worked. So, while Hour 1 continues and Past Me learns all of her specials, here are the goals I set for the original 10 hours to ensure I was improving with Dizzy. With the hardest goal being to play in the first ever Dizzy-only tournament on the 10th hour. If I fail to complete 4 out of 5 of these goals, I have to get a Guilty Gear tattoo on my left ass cheek. With the rules all set, now let's go back to past J-Fork and see how the rest of Hour 1 played out.
Oh my god.
For the last 20 minutes of Hour 1, I wanted to practice some recommended combos. Okay. And they felt a lot easier than I originally thought. Like, a little too easy. So easy that I started to make up my own combos. Yeah, you know, if I did that much fucking damage without doing shit, I would be pretty happy. But what I was missing was that the settings are different in this mode. Like, I must be forgetting or like missing something here. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way this frozen state lasts forever. This is so much damage. So I could freeze and then I just go in and hit some dumb shit. About 5 minutes before Hour 1 ended, I decided to look for an opponent. There's only one way to really practice.
Okay.
And that is starting a freaking game, dude. While in the training range before my games, I finally realized what I'd been practicing doesn't exist. Wait, what? Oh, gotta go boom, boom. Wait, what? I just practiced this so many times and it doesn't work? Hour 2 began and Hour 1 didn't mean much. I was finally matched against my first opponent and it was just time to salvage whatever I could. Wait, I think that I was getting played here. It's not comboing anymore. Starting in floor 7, my first opponent was a Viking, and it was clear I was unprepared and outmatched. Alright, bad start. Because even when I did get a hit, I had 0 conversions and 0 confidence. What was that? What? Viking couldn't do that before, dude. After thinking I planned out the optimal first hour, this
What?
was extremely discouraging. I was misled. And even though I knew it wouldn't work, I still just tried to hit that combo I made up. Oh wait! I'm missing a completely important part of my fucking kit. The Wings of Light. At this point in time, everybody thought Wings of Light was going to be extremely overpowered, so as a last-ditch effort, I tried to incorporate it into my gameplay. Oh, they break after getting hit. Just need to not get hit for that to work. I ended up taking the life on the Viking, but it wasn't enough for the game. I meant to ult. Oops. And luckily, thanks to the worst reaction time you'll ever see, I got another life in the last game. Okay. If I didn't want to get 3-0'd by the first opponent, I needed to do something now. And when I saw the fish hit from behind, I had an idea for a mix-up. And this mix-up gave me just enough life lead to possibly close out the game. All I needed to do was land a final combo. Okay, it comboed there. I could have just been inputting it wrong. Rewatching this gameplay is crazy, knowing that I eventually was good enough to hit Celestial. But at this time, it was also clear I was nowhere close to where I needed to be yet. And on top of this, in my mind, I just hit the combo that didn't work before, which just added an entire layer of confusion that messed me up for way too long. But I was determined to get better, so I just kept playing.
There you go.
All right. I think the hardest problem right now
determined
is
to get
figuring
better.
out, like, or remembering what buttons do what, because she has a lot of different buttons. Throughout Hour 2, I had a really hard time remembering what motion inputs equaled what specials.
I
In my
haven't
mind,
heard
it
of
made
Mina the
way more
Halloween-
sense for
the
Michael's sword to be
Halloween now.
forward circle instead of back circle. And on top of this, remembering which inputs were equal to the far icicle or the close one, or the up fish versus the down
Sibling,
one,
this person.
it was just too much to remember so quickly, and I did not prepare for that, like, at all. And although I still had really good moments, this made me super frustrated early on. And already being frustrated and then fighting an Anji, I hate Angie, I hate Angie, I hate Angie. Holy fuck. I mean, can you blame me for freaking out a little bit? What even just happened to me? And in the moment, not realizing that it was like genuinely affecting my gameplay, it just began to spiral. I pressed the wrong button again. I'm gonna freak out. Yeah. Fuck. It's so hard. Why am I having such a hard time memorizing these fucking buttons? It's like once you're in the moment, dude, it's so hard. And also, what the fuck is going on with my... That's supposed to be my combo. Where I go like that, and then I run up, boom, boom. Boy, wanting to look good for this video really started to get in my head. And in the moment, I didn't even want to include any of this. But now I really do think it's important to show how frustration might affect a learning player.
Oh my God.
Like here, let's play a quick game.
I am frustrated.
All right,
I am really
everybody get out your
frustrated.
phones. I'm gonna show you guys some clips of the next game, and you guys are gonna vote and see what you think the outcome was. Are we all ready for our silly little game?
Yes.
All right, here are the clips. Okay, I fucking knew he was doing it. Dude, Jesus. Again, I pressed the wrong fucking button. And that was supposed to be an ult. That was also supposed to be an ult. Am I going crazy? No way. That does not hit there. What are you talking about? Okay, now everybody take your vote. What do you think the outcome
Shovel Knight.
was? Okay, and it looks like everybody's voted. All right, let's see what the answer was. Like most of you guessed, I lost. Yeah, no, I just lied to you. I completely won. There was literally no reason for me to be getting that upset. I was winning. But because I was already so upset, I played worse and I lost the next games. My last ditch effort. Fuck off. What? No, I let go of my fucking controller. Oh my god.
Oh my God. It's like
And not
pushing
only
me.
did I lose, I lost so bad that I ended up getting up and
I complained about
walking
the
away.
controller
I
too.
didn't want to play anymore. I was that mad. How was that productive? Like, at all? I was ready to quit Dizzy right then and there. The 2 hours already felt like 10, and it felt like I wasn't where I wanted to be yet. But I started to do some reflecting, and I realized what I'm saying now. I overreacted quite a bit. That doesn't exactly change how annoying it was in the moment, but then I got a text from my friend. He just asked how the Dizzy grind was going, but then said that he started to pick up Sin. He thought it would be cool if we ran a 1v1 with both of our new characters in like an hour or two. He caught me at the perfect moment, and I knew that even if I haven't completed a single goal yet, I was confident I could add another one. And with this new reason to keep playing, I locked in for the next 2 hours to make sure I could defeat Fox's Sin. I sat down, I queued up, and the first character I went up against is a Dizzy. This was perfect. If I wanted to learn this character better, I needed to pay attention to what other players were doing. Wait, she's ugly. The first thing I noticed was how she used her fish whenever she knocked me down. I instantly flipped this and started using it on her. But I tried to capitalize. At that moment, something clicked. Players either react by breaking it or by avoiding it, so being ready for both options was crucial. And although these tricks were going to be super helpful, it was still going to take a conscious effort to apply them properly.
What the? Oh my God.
After maybe the most embarrassing
The big
moment of my
samurai
entire
guy.
Guilty Gear career,
Vampire.
I tried to look for more
This
things to
character's a
incorporate
vampire
into my
too.
gameplay. And I noticed that this Dizzy was using Michael's sword a lot in neutral. They got punished for it, I got punished for it, but I still felt like it could be good against Dizzy. Don't place that dumbass shit in front of me, bro. I found that using Michael's sword when the other Dizzy thought it was their turn was really effective, and I wanted to keep this in mind for the Dizzy-only tournament coming up. There we go.
Whoa.
Once all was said and done, the end score was 2-1. And although it was in my favor, I knew I could do better. So when I queued into my next opponent, my heart dropped. It's the same Slayer from earlier. If there was ever an opportunity to prove I am better, now would be the time.
How did it end? Did you win? Did you win?
Let's go, dude. Already a floor 8 dizzy. What can I say? Sit down!
People really are weak against 2 pros in a row. I've noticed.
I may have lost the last round, but I went 2-1, meaning I won the best of 3 and in fact proved that I had improved. On top of this, I was completely over my anger and depression arc, and I had realized that I still haven't hit a goal yet. So with my newfound confidence and a little under an hour before Fox got on, I thought it would be a good time to knock some of those goals off my list. But if I was going to start speedrunning these goals, I needed a few more tricks. So I took to the internet to see what the community was saying about this character. Okay, I learned this from a few people online, including Diaphone, okay? A few things with Dizzy. Number 1, this move is really good. I wasn't using it that much. What Diaphone was saying was basically you put one of these low, and at the same time, oops, you throw one of these low, and then you do one of these, and then if they jump, then the other one goes up, and then if they stay down, then there's 2 attacks going out for them on the bottom. I also learned that you can do this, knock them down, and you can dash over for a mix-up. So it looks like what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to do that, dash over, it'll hit them into me, and then I can freeze them. So yeah, we're gonna try these out real quick. In my next games, I wanted to focus on doing new things rather than just winning. Okay, that way I had a bunch of stuff in my arsenal. I'm not a huge fan of all of these roll pack frames. Let's see if this mixes up. It does. Holy shit, that is crazy. That is just Melia's mix-up. And that strategy was actually working really well. On top of this, floor 8 felt kind of similar to floor 7. She walked right into the wings of light. What the fuck? So with a bunch of new tricks up my sleeve, I was ready to take on the goals I set up at the very beginning. And with the 10-hour challenge being over halfway done, it was really now or never. Oh my god, finally. Oh, that was fucking awesome!
I'm trying to remember where this music is from.
Oh, she's dead. I got 4-9! Let's go. Holy shit. I'm speedrunning. I can't believe I'm 4-9. The goal for the challenge, because I'm making a video about it, is 4-10. So we are almost there.
Dude, my life is literally over. My car blew up. I fumbled a baddie, and I can't play guitar anymore because I haven't been practicing.
With a couple goals knocked off the list, I was feeling amazing. So when Fox finally joined, I was ready to knock another goal off the list. But of course, he wasn't just gonna hand me the win. And to be honest, I was kind of banking on him just not knowing the matchup.
I have no idea what I'm signing up for.
Fair. I haven't played Guilty Gear in forever, so I'm most I've used myself to play this game again.
Yeah, Gyaru Bridget. Bridget of Color.
I was off to an amazing start, but I
Color.
also didn't understand Sin that much. So at first I wanted to play it safe. I didn't want him to see my entire hand of cards, meaning I should save some of my tricks for later, as there was no telling how much stronger he would get throughout the match. And I do look a little silly at the beginning, but for now, it was safe to say I was definitely in the lead.
What the fuck? How does that thing work? Can you just send it out whenever once you spawn it? Is it just basically like
You
a
can
puppet?
break it. Fox quickly started to learn the matchup, and he already started countering a lot more on the second round. But thankfully to him messing up a few of his combos, I got away with a lot more than I should have. But even after just a single round, he was already anti-airing me and blocking my mix-up. And although extremely close, his drop combos would still be his demise.
Dude,
Look at my health.
No.
For somebody with a lot less time on the game than me, it was really impressive what he learned so quickly.
Fuck, I hated that. I tried combinations, but they just don't work.
Nice. If there was one thing Fox was better than me at, it was keeping me in the corner. So to have the best chance at winning, I would need to punish every little mistake. And to be honest, the pressure to catch all of these mistakes made me mash a lot more than I wanted to. How the fuck did that not hit me? Nice.
It's really frustrating that from the opponent, one hit, that's all the work that I have to do. Fuck me, man. I'm trying this combination and it's just not working.
I ended up taking the first game on Fox, and as the rule said, he was allowed to switch characters. So to complete my challenge, I have to beat his Kai.
I hate this so much. I'm trying to do this fucking special, this, and it's just not registering. I hate this.
What, dude? It comes.
It was a great fight, and Fox had taught me a lot. On top of this, I got to show how much more comfortable I was on Dizzy. But now fully knowing that nobody I knew personally could beat me, all I really had left to do was grind tower. And so I did, and it's basically all I did for hours 6, 7, 8, and almost 9. I basically went silent. I didn't even commentate what I was doing. I was just locked in. And if we're being honest, you guys have already seen me do that enough in this video. So as a little bit of a break, I'll give you the bullet point version of hour 7. Oh my god, there's no fucking way. I think if I win one more, I get 410, which would be the second time I've ever hit it, and it's on a brand new character. I had a bunch of really good games back to back, and I genuinely thought I was one game away from floor 10. No, I failed to...
Also, I'm not doing the tower.
So when I was failed to rematch with the person that I destroyed, of course, by luck, I started to learn some very valuable lessons.
A different mode.
Like moving.
This is from 9 months ago. I think ranked was
Lesson
added
number
not
one,
that
I was not as
long
good as I
ago.
thought I was.
Like ranked matches were added not that long ago into this game. The thing that I'm doing now. What is this?
I'm not one for awards, but this one truly mattered. When people say they want Final
It's
Fantasy to be turn-based, they
climb a
mean
tower
Final
and fight
Fantasy,
different
not
people.
Octopath, not Bravely Default, not Dragon Quest. Having it up to here with some of the bad actors in the JRPG community. Even just saying like it wasn't for me. They interpret that as an insult. Did you know that, chat? Did you know I don't care about Final Fantasy? If all those games listed hit like Final Fantasy, then no one would be saying that FF should go back to being turn-based. Why? Because those games would have filled that void. We're going to start with what happened after E33 won 9 out of the 11 awards at the VGAs.
Why do
and
people
then
hate
we are going to work our way
Expedition?
up
We have to finish the game, by the way.
me basically
We have to
having
finish
enough,
Expedition.
having it up to here with some of the
Time.
bad actors in the JRPG community and just calling out some of their silly sausage nonsense. After E33 won Game of the Year, I decided to tweet out what was a pretty obvious joke right here, which was this. Absolutely deserved. The best, no, the first turn-based JRPG that has ever been made. Huge congrats to Final Fantasy 33 by Squarefall. Now, this is me just role-playing. This is what some JRPG fans actually think E33 fans are. It's such an obvious joke that even they could tell, all right? So, you know, they weren't like screaming anime PFPs retweeting this or like angry about this. It's like, oh my god, how dare he think this? It was just whatever. What are PFPs? Profile pics. Now, after that, I decided that I wanted to make a proper tweet, you know. I said, look, I'm not one for awards, but this one truly mattered. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is a deeply special game.
I mean, it's
Everything
a good
it
game.
needs to
It's
be
a very
at.
good game.
It excels.
I like it.
Storytelling, gameplay, music, art, acting, dialogue, and
It's
sound.
very French.
Okay.
I will
And
add.
in a world of
It's a very
$100
French
million
game.
plus budgets, it was made for less than 10 mil. All right. Yeah, people debate about this, usually salty JRPG fans, but that's the official number. I think that was talked about by the New York Times. If you know a different number, by all means, let me know, but that's
they
the
didn't
official
wanna
number we
remind
got.
me.
When we were told $70 US games would soon be 80, E33 sold for 50. Okay, that's a hugely important thing. That sends a crazy message to the video game industry. And the last thing I say is,
I don't know why the
I
negative
grew up in the
response
Sakaguchi
to-
era of Final Fantasy. Okay, in recent years, I had given up on ever seeing a game that could hit like those classics again. I'm glad I was wrong. Thank you, Sandful, for making this masterpiece. For those who come after. Now, I know it's a bit cheesy way to end it, but you know, it's a cheesy tweet. I felt it sort of like it felt right.
How much cheese is too much cheese? Any amount of cheese.
But I think like during this time, most normal people were just happy about this winning. It meant so much on so many fronts to so many people. It deserved this. I think people were happy to celebrate this. I don't think there were any anime PFPs angry about this, but you know what? Let's investigate. If there's one thing the JRPG community seems to hate, it's, I don't know, one of the best games this genre has ever produced doing well. You never played Xenoblade? Yeah, that's right, I haven't. They didn't interest me. Not saying they're bad.
Gears?
I'm just saying they're not for me. So this is something the JRPG community has a very difficult time accepting, which is that people have preferences. Not everyone thinks the same, not everyone has the same tastes, and this is impossible for them to accept. They just don't get it. This has been pissing me off for a very long time, man. This whole thing that when anyone in the Final Fantasy community says, my god, I wish FF would go back to turn-based. I wish there was a modern FF that was turn-based. You know, it looks like 15, it looks like 16, but it plays like a turn-based JRPG. You know, back when these games are good. Whenever that happens, someone pops in and says, Square does make turn-based Final Fantasies. It's not called Final Fantasy. And then they post that stupid meme of like, I don't know, Octopath, Bravely Default, with like a sad person. It's like, all these turn-based JRPGs, I pretend not to see. It's like, no, people see them, all right? They're just not interested. They're not interested, and it's not what they asked for. People should just simply say they want Final Fantasy to be turn-based. No need to spread misinformation by acting like Square abandoned turn-based completely. They literally just released one last week, but people don't care because it's not FF, and it doesn't have AAA graphics. To which I responded with, it's not FF and it doesn't have AAA graphics. Yes, that's the point. That's the point. When people say they want Final Fantasy to be turn-based, they mean Final Fantasy, not Octopath, not Bravely Default, not Dragon Quest. When they say they want AAA graphics, they want AAA graphics.
Good.
Not pixel, not anime cel shaded, not low poly 3D. If all those games listed hit like Final Fantasy, then no one would be saying that FF should go back to being turn-based. Why? Because those games would have filled that void that FF left behind. They didn't, all right? They would have filled that gap in the market, but they didn't. If they did fill that gap in the market, then this conversation wouldn't exist. It's just, I'm just so sick of this, these word games, this bullshit, these lies. And the thing is, no one falls for this, because when you want a game that looks like
enough rambling, enough complaining. What is this? Final Fantasy... Wait, there's a Final Fantasy 17? I didn't even know there were final... Okay, let's hear
So
about
recently,
Final Fantasy 17.
Yoshi P sat down with VGC, VideoGameChronicle.com, and was basically asked this question. The Final Fantasy series has been evolving ever since the very beginning. Final Fantasy II didn't have experience in it, for example. It feels like in recent years, there have been more backlash when new mechanics are introduced. Making 14 online, making 15 open world, making 16 a dark fantasy action game. I wonder if you believe that maybe Final Fantasy 16 would have been better received if it didn't have Final Fantasy in the title, because players bring their own perceptions as to what Final Fantasy means to them. Here, I can make me a little bit bigger here. And then Yoshi P replies, apologies if I haven't really taken in the intention of the question regarding Final Fantasy 14, 15, and 16. I think in the first place, if they weren't Final Fantasy games, then they wouldn't have been developed. And the reason is because it's a Final Fantasy, there are so many resources and cost and quality assurance efforts put into producing a title of that scope. Mr. Sakaguchi, who is the founding father of the series, said you have to take on a challenge for it to be Final Fantasy. We learned that from him, and so because of that, I've never once felt that things would be different if it didn't have Final Fantasy in the title. But as you mentioned, Final Fantasy is a long-lasting franchise, and now we have many players across the globe. So a lot of different players will have their own preferences on what they say is their favorite Final Fantasy. Some might say 7, others would say 14, others would say 16, even other players would say 10. I'm the player that would say 10, by the way. So I think Final Fantasy is unique in that because it's so long-standing, there are so many different titles in the franchise. And so when we develop a Final Fantasy and release it as the latest entry, there will be some players who play it and say, oh, this is the best Final Fantasy. And then there will be others who say, this isn't Final Fantasy. And we do understand that on a company level. So this part is where FF17.
I mean, 11 is not turn-based. 12 is not turn-based. 13, kind of. 14 is definitely not turn-based. 15 is not turn-based, and 16 is not turn-based.
Comes in. For the next installment of the Final Fantasy franchise, we are currently discussing it among the company and considering what sort of response players could provide. We are discussing what could be best for the next Final Fantasy, and this discussion is taking place across Square Enix as a company. But as someone who's involved in the franchise, working on Final Fantasy 14 and 16, I am sharing my opinions as well. Of course, at this point in time, I can't share any information about the latest installments in the franchise, but we are seriously considering and discussing the possibilities, and we will never give up on the challenge. So I do hope players will look forward to whatever is released in the future. Pretty interesting statement here. Essentially, what Yoshi P is saying is that company-wide, they are having a large discussion about what Final Fantasy 17 should be and how people are going to react to it. As you guys know, Rebirth and 16 didn't really do quite the greatest numbers when compared to, say, Final Fantasy 15 and Final Fantasy VII Remake. Because of that, as we all kind of imagined, they are going to be pretty heavily evaluating what they do next with the FF series. I know some people immediately are going to be like, this is our chance for turn-based.
Actually, the FF17 was not even the gameplay. It was the horrible story treatment of the game, actually.
Maybe. I don't know. All this means is that everyone in the company right now is essentially getting together and trying to decide from a broad range of opinions what they essentially think FF17 should be. What they do next could make or break SE. I mean, for sure, it could definitely make or break the franchise. You know, it could definitely do a lot of harm or good. I don't think it would make or break SE because SE just owns so many IPs that they can leverage right now. I mean, Dragon Quest, Nier, Kingdom Hearts. They have a lot of good stuff, but it can definitely make or break Final Fantasy. And I think that for Final Fantasy specifically, 17 is going to kind of be a do or die moment, right? It's something that they cannot back down from. They do have to make 17 an exceptionally good game, a game that draws in a large new audience, while also hopefully not alienating its existing audience. A very tough challenge for most Final Fantasy games to try to do, but something that has gotten more challenging as they've gone along. 16 didn't fail from action-based, 16 failed for a multitude of reasons. I mean, that's for sure. I don't think action, just the principal idea of action is why that game was as divisive as it was, for sure. Oh yeah, so the interviewer had essentially kind of asked, like, you know, why is it that in recent years, new mechanics being introduced have caused more backlash? Flash, I somewhat disagree with the phrasing of this because it's not new mechanics. Right? I think that like Final Fantasy 1 through 10 introduced new mechanics. The thing about post 10 gameplay, post 10 Final Fantasy, is that it's not introducing new mechanics. It's introducing fundamentally new genres into FF, which I think is a fairly big distinction from introducing new mechanics. Final Fantasy 8 introduced new mechanics, right? Like Final Fantasy 9 also introduced new mechanics. Final Fantasy 15 and 16 are just a whole different genre of game. Even 14 being used as an example here, I like 14, but that's a completely different genre of video game entirely. That's not a new system or a new mechanic that's being layered on top of an existing game. So I kind of disagree with the wording of this. Like, it's just like players are just upset that there's new mechanics introduced. I think that FF fans have always really looked forward to brand new mechanics, and we like brand new mechanics, right? But the problem is that I feel like they have gotten so far away from core sort of aspects of what people had come to expect from Final Fantasy, not pursuing new mechanics, not pursuing fresh systems, which they always should in every FF game, but essentially pursuing new genres constantly, mind you. It's not even like, oh, they used to pursue one genre, now they pursue the other. It's gotten to the point where every single game is just a different genre entirely.
I played 1, 2, 3,
in a
4,
hope
5, 6,
that
7, 8,
essentially
9, 10,
if they shift to this genre
11,
or this style of game,
12,
then all of a
14,
sudden sales-wise
15,
the series
16.
is just going to take off. That has remained to be
I've
seen
played a lot
thus
of
far.
Final
We
Fantasy,
haven't really
and
gotten
I've
to
played
that
the
point.
spin-off
And so I
games as
think
well.
people are plenty open to new mechanics and evolutions of the franchise, but the problem is that we're not looking at evolutions of the franchise in many cases. We're looking at entirely different games that are called Final Fantasy and feature the summons and feature things like that, but at their core are just fundamentally different, you know? So I think that's kind of where I would disagree with that assessment.
Oh God,
the natural evolution of the
combos are
franchise
coming.
is to go command-based after 13 is 7R, but
Whoa,
that isn't
what
mainline.
happened?
No,
Did the
I
person
agree,
give the controller
right?
to
Like,
somebody else?
you know, as you point out here, is that, you know, all the mainline games leading up to that were command-based, and then after that, we got away from being command-based. 7R feels
I
like
haven't
an
played 13
evolution
much.
of what the series was kind of headed for. Even with 12 and 13, 7R still feels like an evolution of both of those in a way, because they were trying to keep a command system, but implement something that felt more fast-paced and action and felt more involved. And so I still see 7R's system as like the logical evolution of what Final Fantasy was trying to go for, even in that era. And I don't necessarily think I agree that like, it should just paradigm shift, no pun intended, to to a system that is pure action, right? And is kind of divorced from any command-based mechanics at all. I just don't think that that's where we should go. I stand by my firm belief that SE needs to accept and begin developing new FF games closer to the AA margins than entire console generation dev cycles for a AAA game that does not sell standard AAA numbers. Yeah, I think for sure
I
that
hate this.
what they produce next needs to be a lot cheaper, and I think that everyone agrees
Yeah,
with
they
that.
need to be able to
Like,
produce
you know,
it
for me,
faster.
like one of the craziest
they've
facts that I
also-
found out was, again, we talked about this on stream before, that each icon fight took 10 to 12 months to make. That had to be insanely expensive, and especially when you couple that with the fact that Platinum had to help out, the Kingdom Hearts team also had to help out, dude. That's a
Keep in
lot of
mind,
money,
that's what Square is
and that's a
complaining
lot of
about,
time.
that it
And
takes too
so
long to
I
make
do
new
think
games.
that
So they have to
they've
scale
made
down
like
if
3
they want
7R
to.
games now, and I think that there's a lot of assets in there, and there's a lot of code that can be reutilized, specifically with like, you know, part 3 they're working on airships, right? Take all of your airship code, use that in FF17 so we can actually have airships at the game's launch. You know what I'm saying? Like, utilize stuff like that. If you do, you could probably make a game that looks and feels more expensive than it actually is in reality. KH felt more like a command RPG than, I mean, well, KH is a command RPG. KH is a command RPG, and KH is cool, man. As I've gone back to Kingdom Hearts recently with our Kingdom Hearts Let's Play series, and now that we're going to be doing an essay on Kingdom Hearts, and I've been more deeply analyzing especially the first game, I've walked away with an appreciation for what Kingdom Hearts has done for trying to evolve Final Fantasy's turn-based style into an action game in a way that I just did not ever process before on like a real conscious level. I'm sorry if I'm going to like butcher your name here. Arjun, thank you so much for this super chat. The second a FF game comes out that sells better than FF7 and has a high Metacritic score, all these FF creators will drop this whole FF can be anything mantra and will say, this is the new FF template going forward. Yeah, I mean, okay. Yeah.
I mean, the Final Fantasy games
it's
are
so true
pretty simple
because
easy
the
games.
moment that
They're
a
not
Final
difficult.
Fantasy game finally sells
Final
20 to 30
Fantasy
million,
games have
they're
always
going to
been
be like, that's the
considered on
template of Final
easier-
Fantasy. Like, that's what
on
we're
the
doing from
easier
now
kind
on.
of
Like 100%.
mainstream
There's
easy
like
games.
they're not going to like make a Final Fantasy game that finally sells 30 million units and then be like, yeah, we're not doing that again. We're not making that again. We're not making anything like that again. Like, they're not going to do that. That's basically what happened with OG FF7. Right. And every subsequent Final Fantasy for a really long time after that. Like, you know, 8 and 9 ended up pulling quite a bit off of FF7 as well in terms of format and presentation. I don't think that they would crack the 30 million formula and then be like, we're never doing that again. Right? Even Zelda. Zelda was like, when Zelda cracked that 30 million formula with Breath of the Wild, they were like, this is the formula for Zelda games going forward because look at these sales. Hello, do you think we're going back to Skyward Sword 3 million sales? Hell no. And why would they? Why would they? If a new FF game sells 20 to 30 million, it would also get 3 or 4 direct sequels.
Fuck, I don't know what to do against this combo.
I'm really surprised they didn't do
I
it for
genuinely
15
don't know what to
considering
do
how it
against
sold.
this.
So yeah, I do think that, you know, if
Oh,
they ever
Dragon Quest
crack
is
the
nice. We
formula
should-
for what
There's
FF17 is going
oh
to
gosh.
be, that'll be what they continue
You know, we could
to
start
use for the
the
time
playthrough
being.
of
I
all
think that they
Dragon
have
Quest
been
games
looking
on
for that
stream.
for a really long
Because
time.
there's a big
I think that
discount on
Final
all
Fantasy
Dragon Quest games
VII
now.
Remakes
So we could
battle
play
system
a
definitely
remake
has
of
the
1 and
potential.
2
They just need
on
to
stream.
work on presenting like brand new story, brand new characters. Really, it's the world design that most needs to evolve. And if they can ever crack that and really crack making like a story that's like world class and people are super into, then I think that they already got it. But I think they already nailed combat with FF7R. I think that most people agree on that. Last time we got a sales update on 7R, it was at 7 million units sold. I'm willing to bet you that
I don't know why
it's
I'm being so
probably a
quiet
lot
with the
closer
microphone
to
recently.
10, especially after Rebirth and a
But
lot
yeah,
of
we could
people
be
picking
playing
up
Dragon
the
Quest
twin
on
pack.
stream.
So I do think that 7R, the first one, is going to end up being really successful by the time things are all said and done. Whether the other 2 remake games ever catch up to the first one, I don't know. I don't know if
I doubt
like,
it.
that's even possible at this point. Maybe with the Switch release, I don't think Xbox is really going to do much. But I do think that, you know, the first game did really well. And
Yeah,
people
because
really
people
praised
thought it
the
would be a remake
Unfortunately,
and not a
just lot of
sequel.
people didn't show up
And
for
then
the
people
sequel,
caught
but,
up.
that is pretty much the case for every.
It was
Final
because
Fantasy
it was like
Final
a false
Fantasy sequels
advertisement
always do
crap.
really poorly.
People are like, oh,
10-2
we're
did
getting the
poorly,
game that we
13-2,
wanted. Oh,
and
wait, no, it's
13-2
not.
did okay.
So they decided
relative
that
to
they
13. Like, it
wouldn't
was
buy
still a
the
good
next
selling
one.
game, but if you actually compare it directly to Final Fantasy 13, nowhere near its sales. And Lightning Returns barely scraped by 1 million. So,
Yeah, but
you know, the
13 is
sales
considered
for
the worst
7R3,
in the series,
I don't know
so
what they're going to be like. I don't imagine they're going to be crazy. But also, Final Fantasy games are very narrative heavy, and you know it's tough when you ever look at completion rates of video games and how many people actually complete video games, and you have like these 40-hour narrative heavy RPGs that a lot of people just aren't even going to get through. It gets really tough. Okay, here is a tough question. FF7 Rebirth was very critically acclaimed. The majority of fans love the combat. We've talked about it as an ideal baseline for future FFs, but it hasn't sold through the roof. So do you think Square would have to commit to that approach despite the very positive vibes given the sales? That is actually a really excellent question. And also kind of the problem is that I think that they may reevaluate that based on those sales, right? Because it didn't hit those types of numbers. But the thing is, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth sales weren't really predicated so much on the game or the content, right? As you mentioned, Metascore, fan reception, everything lined up really well. The acclaim at launch was great. Game of the Year nominee. So by most of the measurable
Did it win Game
things
of the
that
Year?
we can like put the game up against. Minus some people really not liking a lot of the side content, stuff like that on social media. By most measurable things, Rebirth did knock it out of the park. But it seems to me, it being the middle child of a remake
Holy shit,
trilogy
what's with that
was
combo?
really the thing that kind of held it back, more so than anything. I feel incredibly strong that if Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was a game and you took all of the FF7 out of it and you made original characters and an original world and it was something completely detached and it came out with decent marketing,
Let me
that it
check
would
how
have
my
sold
new
well.
video is doing.
And I also think too that Rebirth itself was criminally undermarketed. There were a lot of people that I knew personally, they had no idea that the second part of the FF7 trilogy was out. They did not know. Now, here is also the issue too, is that they were marketing 16 and Rebirth at basically the same time, during the same fiscal year. Also makes me think that they had to probably split their marketing budget between two games, because they had to market two flagship games in the same fiscal year. And I don't think that you could give both of them the same amount. I don't think they did. They pushed Rebirth basically on the fact that it was Final Fantasy VII, as if it didn't need any additional marketing other than here is more FF7 slot for you f***ing pigs, right? That's and like,
Yeah, it's
we're
slop,
gonna
that's the
eat
problem.
that stuff.
FF7 is not
And
supposed
you
to
don't
be
need
slop.
to know why it's great or all these other things. And for some of us, they're right. But they definitely put a lot more of their marketing budget into 16. Now, I'm not necessarily criticizing them for this. Here's why. I was the person in charge.
I feel like the
probably
person that
would have
organized
made
the
same
debate
decision. The
liked
reason
my
is
participation, so we
because
might get more
16
debates in that
was
show.
the brand new thing, and people
the
didn't
way.
know what the hell it was. There was already a ton of negativity on social media about the game, so the marketing push for 16 was more necessary than it was for Rebirth. That's how I would have analyzed it too, and I probably would have made the same decision in Square shoes. Even though I like Rebirth a ton more, I would have made the same decision because it's the decision that makes the most sense. They also spend their marketing budget in stupid ways, like giant billboards in LA and other big cities that will mostly be seen by non-gamers who won't buy it regardless. They advertise like their game has the same mainstream appeal as a Hollywood blockbuster.
Like it.
Sorry, but you need to market it in a way that reaches gamers specifically, not the general population. Yeah, I mean, I still look back
I didn't
on
expect
the
to be
live
liked by the
action
audience
commercial, and I think that was probably
of
a
that
waste
show.
of money too.
You
know what?
kept a look.
For everything that
I
they
kept a
spent
look
on
at
the
the
live
Twitch
action commercial, I think
chat
that they could
from
have just
doing
like
the debate,
literally
and
paid
the
someone
audience
to
seemed
make
to like
Ben
me.
Starr, like
And
a
they did
Clive
give me a
outfit,
10-0.
and they could have like got him on camera and had him been like, it's Ben Starr from Final Fantasy 16. Play the game. And people would have been like, okay, I'll play it.
First in the history
Right?
of the show, I guess.
So yeah, I feel like the live
Two
action
10
commercial
zeros.
like was probably like kind of a waste of cash. I also think people really underestimate the impact of PS5 having less than half of the PS4 install base. Remake sold 7 million units on a platform with 115 million owners. Rebirth went on a platform roughly 50 million. So actually, and this is something that
if I was smart, I'd
Daryl from
have
Final Fantasy
more people watching live.
really pointed out to me, because I never actually thought about this before, but
It's for people on YouTube.
I mean, he
now.
always has the numbers to back everything up. But actually, it is better to be early, like mid into like a console life cycle than it is to be like late. Because you think about the number of potential units sold, which means the attach rate.
Okay.
But
We're gonna
what
get to
actually
silver
happens
too.
is that if you launch late into the console life cycle, you're actually launching
Oh yeah,
into like the most
and
competitive
also
of the
I have to
console.
go to
Do you see what I'm
Poland for a
saying?
few days
Like,
because
where
it
there
seems
are
like
the
I've made enough
most
money to.
number of high quality games
Which
that
requires
people
some of
can
the most
play
famous
and are
streamers.
coming out. So actually launching late into the console's life cycle is more
Hasanabi?
of a disadvantage than an advantage.
How many
and
of
what
them are
actually
smart?
tends to happen
I
is
don't
that
know. No.
you launch a good
You
game
shouldn't judge a
earlier
book by
in
its
the
cover.
console's life cycle, as people adopt
But
the
it seems like I
hardware,
can
they'll
come back now
actually,
to
tend
Poland
go
and
back
get on
pick
back
that
on my
game up,
HRT.
especially as
I have enough money
there
now
are
for
good
that.
discounts
And I
on the
also
game. And so really the best time to launch games is like the early
can-
middle of a console
what's it
generation,
called?
and not the end. The end is like
I can do a few
not
things.
ideal actually. But
Also, I
we look
received
at
the
like 100 million units sold. Now's a good time to launch. It's actually not.
when
true.
I come back to Ukraine,
Launching
I'm
early
gonna have the
launching
arcade
late in the
stick.
PS1 life cycle is what hurt FF9 sales the most.
The arcade
PS2
stick
is already
arrived
out, and some
from
people had seen early screenshots
a
of
viewer.
FF10 already. Yeah, the best time to launch
They
is
sent
like
me an
early
arcade
middle.
stick.
So like Final Fantasy 7 and 8 launched at good times during PS1's life cycle. Final Fantasy 10, right, launched at a good time in PS2's life cycle. And you know, actually too, if you really think about it, like the first FF game for a system, it usually will sell better than the later ones too, because it's launching earlier. And another thing too that has to be considered is that when you make that good console game, that good generational game, what ends up happening, people end up picking up the system for that game, right? So when
That's
they
true.
hear that, like, you know, oh, this Final Fantasy game's amazing,
seller
but
is
then they
so
go
cool.
buy the latest PlayStation and they'll buy a couple games, and usually that game will be one of them, right? So as they adopt the hardware, they usually get those critically acclaimed games. They kind of look and see like what's available, and they'll pick that out. And that's actually better for you when there's a limited selection, right? So when there's like 10 games that you can go and pick up for the system, then okay, you got like that 1 in 10 shot of being the game that they pick. And if your game has good reviews, a lot of people talking about it, that chance goes
That's
up
right.
even further. What happens when you are late into the console's life cycle
He calls
is that
himself a
there are
himbo?
200 games, and it,
I
and a lot of them
mean,
are
people do it
discounted.
just, you know.
So are they gonna buy your new game?
I think
Or are
he
they like, well,
sees
dude, I
himself
got
as
like a
pretty
whole
smart,
like, you know,
actually.
library of like I can
think
get
he
God
just
of
says,
War
"Oh, I'm a
2018
himbo," but
for
actually
like,
sees
you know,
himself as pretty smart.
$10. Everyone says it's one of the greatest games of all time.
I think
okay,
he
I'll
thinks he
buy
has
it,
the
right?
best analysis when it
versus
comes to
like,
politics,
you know,
etc.
if they're picking up the hardware earlier and there's less games for it, then you know there's less selection. But I mostly
think
buy
he
your
only
argument
calls
that
himself
if the
a himbo
early
for
to
the
mid
appeal.
console life cycle is accurate, should FF17 just be targeting to be a PS6 launch game? I think that FF17 should launch early to middle PS6 game. So I think it launching where 16 and Rebirth did isn't bad, right? I just think it's other factors.
Oh my
because
God.
you also have to remember FF16
Oh.
launched around roughly the same middle point that FF15 launched
I mean,
into. And
you go to that
FF15
leftist
sold
commentary
really
when it
well,
comes to
10
certain
million plus
subjects,
units,
let me
and
put it that
probably
way.
still going, and FF16
Not when it
right?
comes
So I think it's
to
other
Ukraine.
factors involved there, but I don't think that it's the point in the console.
His leftist commentary falters when it comes to the topic of the war
FF15
that's
was
raging in
3
here.
years into the life cycle, and FF16 actually almost, yeah, exactly 3 years into the life cycle. PS5 launched in 2020, and then FF16 launched in 2023. PlayStation 4 launched in 2013, and then Final Fantasy 16 launched almost exactly 3 years later. FF15. I forgot what I was gonna say.
God, this person is strong. This character is so strong. Oh well. You lose some, you win some, right? Okay, here you go. So we are at silver now. So we have gold, platinum, diamond, and vanquisher.
Bro, I just got out of Plat 1. That shit is so difficult. Oh, good God. If you hard stuck in Plat 1, I'm sorry to tell, but that's a skill issue, fam. Slayer's free elo until Vank. I won't call him free elo, but yeah, I mean, he's not the hardest character to rank up. I think there's way harder characters to play. But like, also, don't fucking shame someone for being stuck at a rank. Don't be that guy. I'm literally Plat 2, and I've been Plat 2 for like ever.
I'm
I
silver.
also just want to point out that if you hit platinum in this game, just in general, You're better already than like 20% or like 80% of the player base. That's true. It's better than 80% of the game population. Sadly, doesn't mean you're good. Okay, so this is just a weird mentality to have. Only in fighting games is being better than 80% of people that play the video game not a good thing. Like, think about what you just said. You're not good because you're at a higher elo and skill level than 80% of the people? Brother, you are good. You're perfectly fine at the game. In fact, you're better than above average at that point. We've already talked about this before. But like if you're at Vank or whatever, you're like less than 2% of the player population. Getting just to platinum and getting into the trenches already means you're pretty decent at the game. You're not going to win EVO or top 8 tournaments, but the majority of people playing a video game do not have that as a goal. They're just playing the game for fun. And to be quite honest, again, when you put things in perspective, where you are better than 80% of the population at something, you're pretty fucking good at the game at that point. Because that means 80% of people that you play, if you were just to play every single person that plays Guilty Gear, only 20% of people are beating you. In what world does that not make you good at something, where you are above the skill bracket of 80% of people doing it? That is such a weird thing to say. Like, I'm sorry. I don't agree with that at all. And like, to be fair, I am just a casual enjoyer. I go to tournaments every now and then. I've definitely slowed way down. But telling someone that they're not good at it when they're better than 80% of people doing the exact same thing, I'm sorry, that's stupid. Let people have fun. Stop trying to put somebody down because they're at a lower skill bracket than you. Like, what the fuck do you mean? I do not get why people get so like in this game in particular, because this is the game where like people just take Guilty Gear pretty seriously. And don't get me wrong, I fucking love Guilty Gear. I love the community around Guilty Gear. It's awesome. But like, I have YouTube comments of people being like, hey, you didn't do that optimally. I don't give a fuck. Why are we taking a video game that seriously? Unless this is like your goal to be that good at the game, or like you're gonna go to majors and stuff like that, that's awesome. Do that. But bro, again, telling somebody that they aren't good at a game where they are better than 80% of people playing the game, you sound like an idiot. I'm sorry, because if I was like, hey, I'm like top 20% of mechanics in the world, you're gonna want to bring your car to me, right? You'll trust that number. You're not gonna say that guy's a bad mechanic. What? Think about what you just said. If you're playing rock, paper, scissors and 80% of people are playing scissors and you play rock, that doesn't mean that you're good at rock, paper, scissors. Yes, it does. Again, you are thinking about this in the wrong way. I'm sorry. You are actually thinking about this in the wrong way because you're like, if they're only throwing scissors, then blah. That's not what you're representing here. I'm saying you take the entire population of people that play rock, paper, scissors, and you are better than 80% of people doing it. Does not matter what their strategy is, right? We're saying you will be 80% of people that play even rock, paper, scissors.
Whoa.
You're pretty much guaranteed to win all the time. You should put money on yourself. That means you are guaranteed to win more than half, more than 3/4 of the time. You lose, or you lose less than 25% of the time.
Lucy, by the way.
Are you kidding me? You don't think that makes you good at something? Do you know how ridiculous you sound? That's so weird. If you're only playing people that are just throwing scissors and you can just throw a rock every single time, sure, that's not nearly as impressive, but that still means you're better than 80% of people. But that's talking about the strategy behind it. And you are going to get people that just want to throw scissors instead of anything else, and all you have to do is throw a rock. That's going to represent a certain percentage of the population of people doing something at the lower skill level, sure. But again, as you climb higher, people are going to come up with different strategies. A better example would be the chess example. If you're at like the 20th percentile, you probably are considered high elo. Above average at something, I think that's okay to say you're kind of good at it. All right. I don't think anyone should be shaming you or saying you're bad. That's where people throw only scissors, especially in Plat 1. Yeah, but again, you're kind of like dumbing it down too much. Like there are only 3 moves you can do in the game. Again, that's why I said the chess example is better. But being better than people doesn't mean you're good. Winning isn't relative to skill, and if it did top 8 every tournament, most likely the same. Again, you're definitely looking at this the wrong way. Because I'm saying of the whole population, you beat 80% of them. Like 80% of the time you're going to win. That's crazy to say that you're not good or that's not good. That's why that is such a fucking crazy argument. Because I'm sorry, if you're literally in a bracket where you're like at a skill level where you are beating 80% of people, or at least are better than 80% of people, you're gonna be considered good at the thing, like in everything else. But apparently that just no longer applies
We're
when it's like
halfway
fighting
to
games. Bro, get the
Silver
fuck
2.
out of here. My opinion as a Vank 1400 player, again, you're in like the 2%, like less than 2% of people playing the game. So your perspective is going to be incredibly
Also,
skewed
we're
on
gonna
what is
do an
defined
announcement with
as
the new
good.
animation
But
soon.
again, overall,
We need to
if you are
gather
better
more viewers.
than 80% of people at
We need
something,
to
you're good at the thing.
attract
Because you're going
more
to beat
viewers.
literally 80% of people doing the thing. You know what I mean? Of course, when you're representing less than 2% of people playing the video game, it does make it feel like people are not as good at that low under you. I'm not arguing against that. But I am saying, being like, you're not good when you're at 80%, bro, you're fine enough to play the game. But I'm still not good. Yeah, you have a weird perspective of things. For real. You just have a weird perspective on things. And that's fine. Continue to do so. But like,
Okay,
why are
enough. The title is... I don't know. The title feels like clickbait. Learn to lose. Fighting games are worth it.
Fighting games are hard to get into and even harder to stick with. Not necessarily because they're
I
complicated,
keep getting
but
recommended
because of how
by
much
with
you'll
those
lose.
fighting games videos now ever since I started
You're
playing
gonna
Guilty Gear.
lose a lot. And if you
On
don't
my
learn
feed.
how to lose properly early on, it stops feeling like part of the process and starts to just feel personal.
Yeah, it always feels personal when I lose at anything.
If you've ever thought about getting into a fighting
Ooh,
game,
wait,
you've
Blair attack
probably felt
Blair
that
White
struck,
attacks
the
me and
feeling
shows
that
how
you're
lazy and
already-
better. Okay. Oh, okay. Shows how lazy and bad her content is. I mean, that's not a... She just watches TikTok, okay? That's Blair White's content. She watches TikToks and laughs at people. That is Blair White's content.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Ooh, I know I pissed her ass off. Ooh, I know I pissed her ass off. Let's go, chat.
It's
Let's
not
fucking
difficult.
go. Oh, we're reacting live. Oh, we're reacting live. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I've officially made it. I appreciate the... I wonder if that's her or her editors blooming my face out to shit. What is with the softening on that? I guess kind of yassified, but also I don't even look that bad. Except she made my hair green for some reason. No, and that's the funny thing is that was the worst frame I think they could find. Like...
It would not
These
be
people are
difficult to
scary.
find a bad frame of me.
Yeah, woke influencers. Well, and so to go back before we jump into the Blair White shit, which I'm sure will be like here's the thing. I want to be as much as I just sent out a Twitter post being like, oh my gosh, the Blair White made a video about me. I'm sure what this will be is hello dog. I'm sure what this will be is a incredibly low effort, no energy, poor clapback at one thing I said in one of my videos that I did reacting to her dog shit, which I picked it apart piece by piece. It's going to be something along those lines, and then she's going to move on, not actually engage with any arguments or anything I say or anything I make, much like Asmongold or anybody else. So I don't want to oversell it. It's going to be fun to watch and look at. The fact that they I guess did the best to make me look terrible.
Synergy if can draw and they're comparing themselves to people like Grop for... Yeah. I don't do that with drawing though.
But I don't... The green... First off, hilarious that Pinky... Both Pinky and Ghidorah are in the background. Second off, green hair. I can't get over it. Although that's fucking recently too. Before we go into this, I want to show, like, because again, this is what's happening here. Last video came out 3 weeks ago, month ago, 2 months ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, 5 months ago. She puts out content at a regular clip, and if she doesn't have shit to farm, like Epstein Files, Charlie Kirk. Look, she got 2 fucking videos out of Charlie Kirk. UFO conspiracies. If she doesn't have anything in the title, I'm sure that she isn't even doing
I am
this
up
anymore.
there?
She probably makes enough. She has editors and shit to do this. It is the
feel like
reaction
it's not great.
Ouroboros. Premieres in 60 seconds.
Yeah?
God, what?
It's good to have a
Did they
unique
use
style at least.
AI? What the fuck is that filtering? They had to have used AI. No, they absolutely fucking did. Look at that. No, look at how my eyeball is fucking warped, dude. Did it just have them? That's what it did. Also, I'm not even on TikTok. Like I literally just talked about it. I think I have 1,400, 1,100 followers on TikTok. Oh yeah, no, I don't have a fucking gap on my top row of teeth. That's fucking funny. That's so... No, they really said, make this woke person more woke. Make this wokey more woke. That's crazy. The threaded eyebrows and shit.
Please judge me by my ops. Blair literally built her platform off of making fun of other trans women.
I've seen this video. I've watched this.
I will be pausing this. I know we're watching this live, but I am going to be reacting to this live. But yeah, like, true facts stated. And honey, judge you by your enemies. I'm going to judge you by your plastic surgeon. Because to be honest, they're doing more damage to your reputation than anybody reacting to your content now. People like Blair White and Tucker Carlson, they can just say that they're Christian and then get a whole swath of people.
Getting my belief in Jesus criticized by somebody with a pink inverted pentagram. We have a satanic brony.
Blair White is a disgusting, stupid person.
Why does nobody know basic farm animals? I'm so curious about what confuses people about a goat. I don't understand it. If somebody were to be like, okay, that's a sheep or that's a lamb or something like that, I understand that. Those animals look very similar. Because she's not the first person to have accused Lamb Chop of being a horse.
What?
Or sometimes I get Pegasus because they have the wings. I've been called. This is, by the way, this is not new for me. When people react to my channel, Lamb Chop Lamb Chop has, in addition to being my adorable mascot baby who I love so much, is a great litmus test for if people are going to take anything you say seriously or if they're going to find literally the first thing they can to back out of engaging, like Blair just did. But I do not understand, because the idea of having an inverted pentagram, being satanic, whatever, if you are scared off by that, I also assume you jump at your own shadow. But thinking the little baby Baphomet is a horse of some kind. Blair White, I have some reading materials to recommend to you by the venerable Dr. Seuss. And you know what? There's actually, I could probably dig it out of my mom's attic from when I was a kid. I had something that really helped me with this problem, telling the difference between goats and horses. It's a little wheel, and it makes a little sound, and it'll correctly tell you if this is a goat now, and then it'll walk you through it step by step. So I'm sure you can even get it where you'll be able to tell this one is a horse. By the time you're done, you'll be listening to all of them. Goats, horses, cows, chickens, not a problem. It's okay. I'm here to help you.
I just have to pause really quick because it's just like they're all so scary. Welcome back to my channel. First video of 2026. Can I just say, this is going to be, in fact, respectfully to everyone else, my year. It's definitely going to be the year of the Blair White Army. So much fun stuff is coming up. Stuff I am so excited for you guys to see. Stay tuned. But I thought, how do I start the new year? What's the first?
We're going to Silver too. That's exciting.
We like to have fun here. We like to joke. But can I be honest? Can I be vulnerable for a moment with you, chat? I need you to come into the light with me. Hold hands for a second. Kat is also offering her opinion. And I'm going to be radically vulnerable here. I need to live by my truth. And I know we just made fun of Blair White's plastic surgery. But I have never felt so unsettled as watching this little flap of skin by the side of her face. Watch it as she moves. It's like a piece of plastic on a rubber animatronic. Watch this.
Video. Right out the gate. Definitely we have
Okay,
to react to
just-
some woke
I
TikTokers
don't care
who
to
really,
attack
really hate
people's
me.
appearance.
We have to banish the
No matter
ops
how much I don't
right at
like
the
them,
start
I
to
will
let
not
everybody.
go after people's surgeries.
What is because it's not on the other side. Is it a trick of the light? What is causing? Did she get a nerve pinch like Sylvester Stallone? It's uncanny. It's scary me. It gives her a doll-like quality, negatory. I'm not talking like cool doll. I'm talking like dead silence doll. Yeah, no, you see it. It's alive. It's like it.
It's alive.
In a way, it's almost mesmerizing. Like I can't look away from it.
React to some woke TikTokers who really, really hate me. We have to banish the ops right at the start to let everybody know we're just not playing that.
We're really going towards silver too now.
People that you seek approval of, they're going to throw you under the bus.
Didi is
So
going
here's the
for
thing
a
why
lot
I
of low
don't
blows
like
here. I think so,
TikTok,
actually.
or why I don't like people reacting to TikTok content, because it is something that takes such little effort to make a video that it has a very, 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 very low barrier to entry, which means anybody posts on there, which isn't a bad thing. The bad thing is that you have a very easy pick of targets for people who want to be disingenuous, who want to be bad faith, who want to judge somebody or prostrate them simply for how they look, how they talk, how they act.
Yeah, just have to go to TikTok.
I want to say a good 99% of people who go on TikTok, like, this person, great example, is not the best speaker. They kind of do this thing where you get a lot of unscripted, just brief statements where it doesn't come across very eloquently or very smoothly.
They don't think of it as a career. They just go throw out a video and go out.
Traditionally, or getting better
get on with
at
their
makeup.
day.
Or just doesn't present in a way that people like Blair White find publicly or socially acceptable. So they take that as a excuse to prostrate them. And again, this goes perfectly with what I was just talking about the other day. Fascists are all about aesthetics, which is why they will see somebody who doesn't align with their version of how somebody should present, or doesn't talk like how they feel somebody trustworthy speaks, which is authoritatively, despite if they know nothing. And then that is excuse enough for them to completely insult them, drag them before their audience, make fun of them, even though, do we have Lily Chesk? No, it's exactly that, Violet Left. It's like asking random college kids political questions, then picking the worst responses. Yeah, it's like you are going into a target-rich environment to make yourself look as good as possible.
Yeah,
and
Blair White then says that TikTok
I will bet
creates culture and
this
it's
user
super powerful.
Has,
So
I don't know who this is. Like I said at the beginning, I don't really use TikTok. Lily checks. I'm gonna try and find them. I bet you they have less than 1,000 followers. Okay, 4,000 followers. So still pretty small. Pretty small.
Bigger than me.
Bigger than I thought. But like
Bigger
a
than
lot
me
of
on
her
YouTube.
videos are pulling around what some of my TikToks have pulled. So like, again, not somebody who has a big platform at her back. And if you want to compare audience sizes of 1.5 million subscribers to somebody with 4,000 on TikTok, pick on somebody your own fucking size. You can't. You honestly can't find anybody else. You can't find a reaction from Hassan or something. No, of course they could. It's just she doesn't want that smoke, and made the mistake of lumping me in with a bunch of fucking TikTokers, I guess.
I don't really know what that is. I don't know what the pink puffballs are for. Probably for hiding those devil horns. I have not seen these, by the way. So if this is the first one, I guess scared would be enough.
Wait, way to say that you barely do any work and you don't even do your own editing, research, or content. You just sit in a chair and have a user base ready to chomp at the bit and devour anybody you put in front of them.
Yep.
A lot of high effort content. High effort content here.
Understatement, right? I guess my body feeling with the instinct to just run away would be more accurate. What will I be remembered for? This person asked. Well, hopefully not being a living, breathing jump scare such as yourself.
Wow.
That okay.
Burn.
That pause on that frame from Blair. I promise it was accidental. I promise that I did not plan that. That was not a. But honey, I paused on the wrong frame, and it's like you're jumping out of the screen like the Ring at my audience. Just going boom. Oh yeah, look at that. Somebody with 692 followers. God, what a fucking pussy. What a fucking pussy, dude. They literally went like, let's just find a bunch of nobodies to make fun of and act
of
like
course, that's her whole
we're
content.
gonna
That's her
address
whole
their
model
points.
of content, finding nobodies.
The
to make fun of,
cowering
yeah.
before you got on camera, like, why is it looking like it's falling out of your face? It's just the effort, right? Like, just bare minimum, like.
Again, you're probably not the person to talk about bare minimum effort. Having somebody else compile a bunch of no-name TikToks for you. I'm just saying. Glass houses, honey.
And again, I just feel like the title of this video, low-key, should just be Judge Me by My Haters, because they do actually all look like they're going through active psychosis.
It's almost like, with the exception of myself, whoever your editor was handpicked a bunch of people that nobody really know, who don't represent or don't present in a way that is kept to your standards so that you can point and laugh at them.
Look at that.
Even though they are.
We just upgraded. Would anybody like to give me a reward for my big, what do you call it? You call it promotion. There you go.
Obviously didn't expect to be prostrated in this way and probably only expected their videos to stay within their small communities. It's almost like that. And it's almost like you're trying to take that small selection of people who, you know, if you went bigger, if you took on somebody your own size, you could take on one-to-one. It's almost like you're trying to use that small selection to say, oh, they're all like this. I'm just saying, it's a little sus. It's a little sussy.
And it's just the lies for me, right? So built a platform on making fun of trans women, more like built a platform on just being real. But I also know my character that I've never used an ER to.
Somebody with more fucking plastic in their face than a Barbie factory talking about being real.
Thank you for the $20.
Honey, you're about as
so
fucking
excited.
authentic as Narnia.
I don't really
Thank
care.
you.
So this person, I've been told, is about to
How do I unlock
criticize
this?
the fact that I came out.
Chat. That's me. That's me. It's me. That's me.
How do I
you see the
unlock
resemblance?
collections?
Oh yeah. Let's go. Let's
is
go,
this?
chat. Moment we've all been waiting for.
Wait, what?
As a Christian, and that I.
I'm blushing. Oh my god. They did. They fucking widened me, dog.
I have to fish for these things.
They did. Somebody said chonk filter. That's fucking real. They widened me, dog. Did they? No, they might not have. Okay, so it was this video, whatever this was, they put this through AI. Because it fucked my whole shit up. It gave me green hair, fucked up my eyes, fucked up my, my brows. Like, what the fuck?
Call myself a Christian, which a lot of people have done lately, which is pretty bleak, but.
Oh, is it bleak? You grifting cunt? Is it bleak? It's like, oh, yeah, no. A lot of people have called me out for being a Christian, which is just such a sign of the times, I guess. Not at all.
I guess we can
just
do
a history
some
of
gotcha.
People on your exact
I thought you
ideological
actually,
scale.
I think we would
decide
actually
to convert
do
to Christianity.
Fishing, not just click fish.
Run interference for the fact that they're just terrible fucking people who support terrible fucking things. Blair, the political agenda you support is protecting pedophiles.
That's true.
Rapists. That's the side
And
of
it's
history
super
you're on.
transphobic as well.
We want to talk about how people are going to be remembered.
Bleak for them, not me. Let's see what this.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Person has to say. And I use the word person loosely. Just kidding.
People say that it's a personal journey. This is something we saw with Tucker Carlson, where personal journey becomes, for me, synonymous with not knowing shit. With kind of just deciding to pivot and making Christianity your new aesthetic or your new public persona or an element of the way that they put on performance for a public persona. People like Blair White and Tucker Carlson. I can't help but notice this. I've actually mentioned Tucker twice and Blair once. Is she gonna address the things I actually say about her, or did they just clip part of it?
She's not. That's not
freely walk into, because they can just say that they're Christian.
Oh, hello,
and then get a whole swath of people who are ideologically similarly not discerning, but will just hear Christian, and they flock to it because they understand. I can tell she's having a hard time. You can see, I've never seen somebody forming an idea in real time, trying to think in a way that is so obvious it comes across on their face, which, again, considering the Botox, is impressive. This almost unspoken truth in conservative circles that it's better to be some brand of Christian than not.
And for a third time, judge me by my ops, because we have a satanic brony in the mix. Just saying.
Again, it's great to me that Blair thought that was enough of a sick burn to put it in the opening crawl, to put it in wait for this. Because again,
is not smart.
It's not a horse. Blair, you're losing identifying farm animals to like a 4-year-old at this point. Come on, a brony? That's the best you can do?
Getting my belief in Jesus criticized by somebody with a pink inverted pentagram on the screen is
Hey Blair, how does Jesus feel about just like constantly displaying your tits like that? You can't really be out here dressed like you're trying to get picked up as an extra in Pretty Woman. And be like, now, as a good Jesus-loving American, who are you gonna trust? Me, a completely Bible-loving woman, or this heathen baroni with an inverted pentagram? Oh, I know which one of us has the Spirit of the Lord in them. Tell your audience to send you fucking $10.99 for a brochure next time to get forgiven. Is that the tangent you're going on? I don't know, you've been getting pretty close with Alex Jones. That's the kind of bullshit he's into.
I guess a bit self-explanatory. I'm definitely not trying to prove to you or anybody, even actual Christians, that I'm a Christian. But I will say, I find it so interesting how, everything has to be seen through the lens of being performative or for the audience or whatever. Like I said in my Christian video, I considered myself a Christian for a couple years before I ever talked about it, because I was actually insecure about talking about it. And
insecure because, as I said in my video, Blair, you should watch it where I deconstruct the whole grift. Because like I just said in the part you showed, it's because you didn't know shit about fuck. That's why you were insecure. Like, can you throw me a Bible verse? Throw me a Bible verse, please throw me just one. You know what? I will never call Blair White a grifter again if she quotes me a good, and I don't mean some Sunday school bullshit you learn and you can recite it by the end of the day. I'm talking like, give me some deep lore.
And I've been, a commentator in conservative circles and on the online right for 10 years. So
it shows.
Without ever claiming Christian, with actually being very open and saying for the longest time that I did not have a religion or I did not have a particular belief in God. That changed organically in my real life. You know what I mean? And I don't. It's a fine line between justifying yourself, because again, to a heifer with a pink pentagram on the screen, it's just not the.
A heifer, huh? Okay, babe. A heifer? Some might say that Blair is a competent content creator, that, she approaches her career and content with a lot of creativity.
Speaking
Is
of
really
smart people having a lot of viewers,
pushing the envelope.
Somebody in the chat made the
And
argument.
that, even her
before
writing
that
and her insults,
maybe
like you
the
can tell, she's
smartest
just
people
got
are
a
not the
whip
biggest
smart
content
charisma and
creators.
is able to
Their
really,
white, I guess, is
bring it
kind
on
of,
camera. Some people might say that.
Case in point.
After 2 lobotomies and maybe some long COVID. Nobody with eyeballs or a working brain would, though.
Person, I'm really trying to, whatever. I don't know why you kept comparing me to Tucker Carlson. That's a bit weird. I mean,
I actually talked about it at the beginning because it was the same grift that Tucker Carlson did. When Tucker came out and did the interview where he talked about being, because his dog jumped on him in bed and he said, well, is that the strangest thing is that I was just, I could only imagine a supernatural cause of it because, what else would leave claw marks like that? I can only think it would be a demon. And of course, I've never been Christian. Or I've never really believed the Bible, but I did feel moved to some kind of faith. And he gave that bullshit answer just like you did, where it's like, well, I haven't actually been reading and I don't actually know shit about shit, and I just kind of like the vibes of it. And it's a very personal relationship. And again, if you actually did the research for your own content and watched your own videos and saw the whole conversation, which it was a much larger segment of, you might know that. But you don't, because you didn't.
also, I will say though, the line of like saying that because I believe in a personal relationship with Jesus, that is BS or means that I don't really know what I'm talking about or don't know about Christianity.
No, see, because the entire point of that conversation was that it all comes back to the same shit. It's because it's always the same. From my time looking into and following radical conservative circles and evangelical circles, you see this trend of people who they don't really go by any rules. They don't really want to follow any doctrine or commit to any churches. If they do, it's usually non-denominational. But they'll say that, I'm working on my personal relationship with Christ. If you ask, like, oh, okay, what congregation are you going to?
Holy crap!
Or do you have,
how did I get so much RP?
What's
from
your
this fight?
division like, or what's your
We're way on the way
the
to
church body? What are the
silver-free now.
rules? What sect do you identify with? They're just, well, I don't really do that. They might have a congregation, but it's a personal relationship. And what that means is that there's no real accountability, and they get to do shit like this, where they get to be like, well, actually, I have my own personal beliefs, and nobody else can tell me anything is wrong about them. And it's mostly because you just kind of make them up on the fly to justify whatever you're feeling in a given moment.
She just makes stuff up.
Is what the conversation, by my recollection, came down to. But it's, again, it's easier for her. This is a lot easier than I thought it would be. It's easier for her than anything. A lot of,
look, I'm just noticing patterns here, people, but can't help but notice.
There's a lot of you saying you don't understand, don't get, don't realize. Take for that what you will.
I feel like that's because you don't know about Christianity. I'm guessing just by, again, the Satanism and, not to judge a book by its cover, but I will, the blue hair. You are somebody who probably judges Christianity by Christians and holds Christians up to a higher standard than yourself, which is to be this like Puritan, following the Bible perfectly, which also a lot of Christians try to hold me up to as making a mistake. This is not the only trick. Criticizing the fact that I call myself Christian. But the good thing about that is
it's going to be tough.
I don't really care. And if you wanted to make it about scripture and following everything about the Bible, there is, I'm not going to say countless, but I've read maybe like a dozen or more things in the Bible that really specifically lay out that personal relationship as a vehicle towards salvation and to knowing.
They are verses. She's talking about Bible verses. She's read a dozen Bible verses. I am almost fucking certain. I love this. I love. No, it's not that I expect every Christian to be a paragon of purity. In fact, I expect quite the opposite. I expect that people like you will use Christianity as a cudgel to try and get other people to live by a morality that they don't necessarily ascribe to or even believe in, arbitrarily because you just think it's the right way to do it. That's the real problem. The idea that I don't know, honey, I don't know. Christianity is fucking wild. That's crazy. Yeah, not to judge a book by its cover, says the mean girl who bullies people for their looks. You know what? I can't. I was raised in the church. I was raised in the light of the Lord. Let me tell you. Grades
Holy
2
shit, that
through
was a
10,
massacre.
confirmation class through high school. I'm talking every
Golden
Sunday,
is something
potlucks included. I'm talking, I was at Vacation Bible School until 1 year. I was one of the teachers at Vacation Bible School because I knew how it worked, and all the people were like, "Oh, you know, so-and-so, come help us." And my mom made me do it. The idea that I don't know church or Christianity, like, and that is entirely outside, completely aside from the way I've covered churches just on my content and in my channel. Do you want to go toe to toe? Blair, I guarantee, I will put my 14-year-old self confirmation class knowledge that is tucked away in cobwebs right now. That shit's in mothballs in the back of my brain somewhere. I will yank it from the depths of my mind and put it against your 12 Bible verses any day of the week.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna have to gay Dragon Geek DD and Blair debate. Let's go. Look, I'm on my way up. I'm getting called out by Asmongold. I'm getting called out by Blair. I'm getting called out by Destiny. I'm gonna have to step into the arena one of these days. I'm gonna have to debate. I would debate Asmongold. Like, look, I know I've talked about how I don't do debate because debate's not useful. I saw one of the things we'll watch today, the Kyle Kalinske on Piers Morgan, because look,
apparently I'm pretty good at debate.
Dark Woke has its place on a debate stage. I would say that as a method of spreading a message.
I'm pretty good at debate. Apparently, I'm not.
If we want to talk about the arena of aesthetics, which I think more left-leaning people need to get into.
Blue-haired hoes with pentagrams, talking about you're not really.
I mean, it's not really. It hasn't been blue for a while. It look. I'm just saying, it faded really quick, like really quick to this nice kind of silver platinum. Clown oil. Of course, you have blue hair and pentagrams. Oh.
It shows me why God told me to do it, even though I was uncomfortable with it. So I guess that's the benefit of having that personal relationship. You can ask for guidance and you'll get it.
Amen.
Blair White. If you don't know, Blair White is a trans woman on the internet who for the last few years has been a right-wing grifter.
All right, we're halfway through this low-effort fucking garbage already. At Make Bad Choices. For those wondering, Make Bad Choices, another person with only 3,000 subscribers. So what probably happened here, if I had to guess, because
all of them have more subscribers than me.
I have almost 150 on YouTube.
Creator.
I have almost 24,000 on Twitter. What I'm willing to bet happened is somebody sent them a clip of me, and either their editor or something looked me up on TikTok and saw I only have 1,000. And so they were like, yeah, throw them into this bullshit. Because it's very weird that I am the one content creator, the one person so far who doesn't have under 5,000 followers. Like that's like fucking nothing on socials.
You're just so genuinely confused how a person who's trans.
She just really has nothing. Like here, okay, Blair. Why would I even try to talk to her? I know she's not going to watch this. Okay, Blair's editor or whoever watches her content for her. You should have Blair at least try to watch these before reacting to them, because what you can do then is she could prepare some riffs, because she's very clearly not good at it off the top of the dome.
No.
Saying somebody should be named Befuddled.
Because she's not very
It's
smart.
not exactly like a Bernie Mac level zinger. And it's kind of the pitch she's been hitting the whole time.
people just they like to project their extremely limiting views on me. So it's like, you can't be a Christian, you're trans. You can't hold a gun, you're trans.
No. Again, that's not what any of the people have said. They haven't said, oh, you can't do this, because obviously you can. What they're pointing out is that you're a fucking idiot
Yes.
for playing into the hands of people who hate you.
Oh, God.
Whether through
You are an idiot, that's true.
defiance or obstinance or simply wanting to not be like other girls, that's what people are pointing out. The fact that you're a hypocrite. Like, it's again, very simple.
I mean, being
this
at least
label that I have all these
you can be a hypocrite and not an idiot.
notions about.
I think she's just an idiot.
And what I've decided in my head is what
More
a
than a
trans person
hypocrite,
is, and it's
to be
kind of.
honest.
Did she not know the word conceived, preconceived notions? Chat, look, again, I know I've made fun of her. Look, okay. I'm going to grow up. I'm going to be mature here for a moment. And now the moment's over. Is she so fucking stupid that she doesn't know what the word conceived means? And she just said pre-whatever notions? Look, at a certain point, we got to put the jokes aside because it can be generally, it's affecting me now. At a certain point, we have to put the jokes aside because it can be genuinely concerning. Like, is this somebody who needs help? Do we have Blair's editor? Have you checked on her lately? Does she need a welfare checkup? Because here's the other thing. The reason why this content takes so fucking long to get through, especially again, another thing, you can truncate it, you can make it a little bit more snappy. Brevity is the soul of wit. So said the bard, I believe. And the thing that's really bothering me here now, it's nothing but the pacing and tone of the piece, because now I'm an editor brain. Now I'm just trying to like improve it and edit it now. Because every sentence, here's how Blair White talks. She will start off saying something and then just trail off, or, and then keep talking when, sweetie,
oh boy.
Anyway, so yeah. And she will take minutes out of your life to say barely fucking anything.
I feel like we need to.
She talks like slam poetry.
We don't.
Hey, would you believe it? Looked up this user, 2,640 followers. Got another one.
SSRIs are crazy. Like the slurring.
Oh no. The
it was just hard to hear.
The anti-medication.
You would just think after all these years,
pause,
that there would just be a little bit of gratitude.
Pause.
Just a little bit of gratitude. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only thing, or one of the only thing. You know what? Maybe the only thing standing between like a lot of people and just hating trans people. A lot of people and just writing it off, completely disregarding it because people like you pop up on the scene.
People like you are plucked out of the ether by selective editors, people with 2,000 followers. And again, this is the narrative that she likes to put forward, is that like, oh, if it weren't for me with my 1.5 million followers, everybody would hate trans people because of these 4 random TikTok accounts that I scalped content from
that TikTok
with
has so
less than
much
5,000
cultural power.
followers apiece. That's what the world would think if it weren't for little old me. Get the fuck out of here. What have you done for the larger trans movement? What have you done
a lot of bad things,
for trans
actually.
acceptance?
A lot of negative
They
things.
still don't
actually.
like you. They still, like, you have been on panels and debates where conservatives misgender you to your fucking face.
And told you to grow
where they
your
tell
hair.
you to detransition.
Yeah, and
The
you just
people
took it.
you help hate you. You have not done any favors for people like you, let alone for yourself.
And definitely make it hard to listen to with the slurring. So, I don't know. I just felt like this whole video could have just been...
Just real killer zingers there. We got We got bronies, not a horse. We've got befuddled, wasn't really that confusing. We've got SSRIs and slurring. No basis for that. Wasn't actually that hard to hear. I'm starting to think that Blair might just be cognitively impaired. Like at this point, it's feeling. At this point, insulting her is starting to feel a little bit ableist. I'm not gonna lie. As a wokey at heart, as one of the woke TikTokers who hate her, as the title says, I'm walking right up to the line I swore I'd never cross of wokeness, making fun of somebody who is mentally so much lower than me.
Blair White, thank you.
But I do it anyway. I do it for you.
I just have to pause really quick because it's just like they're all so scary. I don't think I've ever seen someone this aggressive in a muumuu.
And so I'm sorry that I am late.
There is okay. Again, I'm putting 2 and 2 together here. It's very basic math. That again, based on what we know about Blair's ability to identify farm animals, I'm going to say math is at least a grade or 2 away for now. We'll give it a couple years. So I'm going to help her add this one together. Between allegations of you saying the N-word that, again, can't help but notice you just skated right over and said, are we really going to hold that against people in 2026? And the fact that this person is talking in basically a whisper, like at most a room tone, have been entirely amicable, have not really even said anything hurtful or offensive or violent.
So scary.
The idea that you just saw a black person and it's the first time you were like, I don't understand why they're so aggressive.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Blair, what do you mean by that?
And I think that you are very excited to lean into the rhetoric.
I would think you know more about being sickening than me. I will absolutely give you that. You see how it's like, it's all a bunch of Blair White makes fun of people's appearances, except that's what they do. I just wouldn't do the comparison thing. This is just setting yourself up for...
What? Silence? A scathing comeback? You're insulting a muumuu? Like what? Oh, I'm setting myself up for one of the famous Blair White comebacks. Watch out. She'll get you. Like Rodney Dangerfield in the prime. Like, you don't want to go up against her. Just the wit of like Robin Williams or George Carlin combined. Watch out. She'll just get you with zingers, like calling you befuddled. Yeah, really. Please tell me what they're setting themselves up for. A second grader insult? Do you have anything that you actually say?
It's just all about hating white people at the end of the day. That's like the, common denominator of their ideology here. But is this black?
It's actually not a common. Again, mathematics along with mathematical terms like common denominator. Still, I think a little bit outside of your grasp. It's okay. We'll work on it. I'll get you a tutor. We'll figure something out. We can get through this together, Blair.
God damn.
The common denominator, everybody would have needed to say that, or at least a majority of people would have needed to express some kind of anti-white hatred. And first off, calling somebody foolish is not hating white people. It's saying you're acting a fool, which
you are.
I feel I have documented well enough.
So believe it or not, like I do actually ask myself sometimes.
I don't believe it. I don't know what it is. I don't believe it. I just straight up don't believe it.
Like, why do people hate me? I feel like it's important to, if you're a public figure of any kind, get down to the root of, okay, so what is it about me that people love about me? What is it about people that...
Oh my gosh.
Blair, you just sat through 20 minutes of completely out of context clips where people could not have been more clear and succinct about why you are disliked. Even in the out of context shit that you selectively clipped to make people look as bad or inarticulate or aggressive as possible, it's very clear. If you want a common denominator
Sure.
between all of these clips, it's that you're a hypocrite. You're a sellout. You're a shill. Nobody likes you because as much as you want to be like, because I keep it real, you're not real. Metaphorically or physically now.
I keep it real.
You never really have,
Oh
man.
my God. Keep it real. Oh, that was a video. Wait, we watched 44 minutes of video together. With pauses and everything. How long have we been streaming? I think we can finish stream now. What do you think? Wait, hold on. I'm gonna do the rematch and then we can... Hey, hello, Soul. Welcome to the stream, Soul Life. Welcome to helping me become a small content creator rather than a micro. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, I could have won this, I feel like. Heaven or hell? Fight, let's rock. It's fine, you lose some, you win some. Oh. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Okay, I guess I lost very much. It's time for bed, yeah. Clearly, yes. I don't wanna demote to silver. Wait, I'm on silver 2 now. Yeah, I don't wanna demote to silver 1. Okay. I'll see you soon. I'm gonna raid you to somebody that will appreciate you. Alright.